Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to this week's edition of GKP Live. Terribly sorry, slight typo there, but we'll be right back after this. That's caused some confusion, hasn't it? Sorry about that, folks. It was supposed to be 10 minutes later, but when I changed it by the 10 minutes, it also changed the hour. I never noticed, and I just clicked upload to get it up and running. So, sorry, apologies. Hopefully, fingers crossed, people will start to filter in. If they don't, then, well, we'll catch them on the next one. First of all, I'd like to say a huge congratulations to both Lewis and Megan, my son and my son's partner, who had their first child last week, which was the reason why she went into hospital sort of like mid-afternoon, and 8 to 9 centimeters dilated. And by the time we got home from work and we knew what was going on, baby was here. So we were hoping that we were going to get to go down and have a bit of a cuddle and having a look. But, you know, being first day home and everything, and she were absolutely exhausted, and they kick him out pretty much in next to no time now. We thought we'd be better if we left. So it was a bit of, are we going, are we not? But we decided instead just to stop at home and have a couple of drinks and enjoy the fact that we'd received his latest new Isla Marie, which is our new little granddaughter, the first of the granddaughters. So
congratulations.
That's the reason why there was no live last week, guys. This week, I'm going to be completely honest. I was trying to eat my tea, which I didn't get to finish, and I'm going to have to put it back in microwave and warm it up afterwards. But yeah, What's everybody like with this weather? Have you all been getting the snow? I've got literally about, I'd say, a good 6 to 8 inch outside in garden. Thank you very much to all those people that did send through congratulations and our best wishes to us. Greatly appreciate it from both me and my wife, and obviously my son and his partner. Baby's doing fine. Absolutely brilliant. She's coming on leaps and bounds already. Keeping them awake a little bit, but that's newborns, isn't it? It's part of the fun. There will be no Rick this evening. So if anybody would like to jump in and fill his shoes and come in and have a natter and a chat with us, please feel free to do so. The link is at the top of the comments, as always. Click on it, follow the instructions, and join us here in the studio. There'll be me and Daz this evening. Up to press. Nobody else. I've not had any chance to really get anything much other than just a general sit here, have a natter and have a chat, and any topics that you guys want to talk about this evening. I haven't posted anything this week because I wasn't 100% sure if I were going to go live. As this week, I'm off. I'm off work. I'm off work due to my van being broken down, and I've taken holidays. So I thought, am I going to give it another break? And I kind of didn't make my mind up till the last minute that we were going to go live. So we're here. We're going live, and it is what it is. It'll be whatever it is, Daz, as we bumble as we normally do. We wing it anyway. Week in, week out, it'll be no different. As everybody was saying there, Crafty, is the time right? No, it wasn't 100%, mate. I got phone calls coming through as I was running upstairs, having to have a, get myself sorted out. Tony Backer says, I hope not. Definitely wasn't, mate. Chris Taylor, no, it wasn't. You're right, mate. It was wrong. My fault. What time are you actually starting tonight? Now? I can't see it starting at 9:40. I changed it. I just wanted to go from the 7:30 because Daz had got a little bit of stuff he were doing, and I was just trying to get my tea much as I could down my neck. And I tried to change it by 10 minutes, but it changed the hours by 2 as well, which I don't know why. It shouldn't have done that, but here's what it is.
Technology.
So anyway, as is, we got a hi people from Paul. How are you doing, bud? We've been gaming most of the week. That's what we've been doing. So I won't be doing a late one this evening. And that's partly because I'm worn out. I've been up till stupid o'clock every night this evening, buggering about gaming with, as everybody refers to him, the GKP. We've just been having a bit of a laugh and a bit of a break from all things at our YouTube. There's been very little content out, guys. And that's pretty much because of the weather conditions. There's not a great deal I can do with my fish other than monitor them and make sure that they're happy. There's not much project-wise to get on with because we've been tired with it, and it really does, haven't we? We've got some stuff that we're hoping to get done this weekend, and hoping that we can get a bit of content out of. We got as far as we could down at Vicky's Bubble and Fins with the last job, which is in preparation for more stuff to come, hopefully this season, or maybe this season and into next, depending on how finances break and work. Because
she got rid of all that bonfire, so she's made.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she
the
Fire Queen apparently got it going 3 days later and burnt every last single piece to the ground with nothing more than a small bit of petrol and a little bit of plastic.
Well, she's cleared the grass for us, ready for digging the pond as well now.
So, all right. So, pretty much, well, to be fair, though, it has on it. Bring it all back to roots. It's a big patch. We don't have to de-turf it anymore. At least we can just go straight and we dig. But, yeah. She managed to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. Right, let's have a quick touch more on a few of these. Ricky's Kuipen says, good evening, fishy friends. Good evening, Rick. Thanks very much for joining us, mate. Appreciate it. Chris Taylor says, good evening, everyone, and a very good evening to the panel. Smaller than usual. Yeah, Rick said he's out with the family this week, which, to be fair, guys, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, we've been doing this every night, every Thursday night. And at times, when you're banging out content left, right, and centre and doing a Thursday night live, you do burn yourself out a little bit and you do need a little bit of a break. I've especially been feeling that way these last couple of weeks, pushing into a month or so. I don't know if it's a little bit of the January blues crap and all that shit, but not feeling my usual self and not really in the mood for pushing out content and doing as much as we have. That will change. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get back into the swing of things. It's all these dark nights, dark mornings. It's shite, I hate it.
Yeah, tell me about it. The rain. Oh,
Rain, constant rain, freezing your ass off, coming home.
yeah.
Pitch black, get a bit of tea, bed, same routine. Just don't feel like that. I can't wait for spring to break and get some, like I say, about that much snow outside at garden again. But,
yeah. But I'm lucky. All we've had is rain today.
Yeah, Jeff, same as well. He's had rain all day too.
Yeah. But poor old Jeff, he's got a foot and a half of snow on his drive.
Yeah, he's got maybe an inch of snow. If that.
Oh, has he? Was he
I think you were pulling your leg. Yeah, what do you mean? Right, we've got DT says good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good week so far. Marcus Watson says evening all. Good evening, Marcus. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening, Marcus.
Lloyd's Coy that says hi all. And Jigs' Mountain View. Good evening, guys. Hope you are well. And the same to you, bud. Hope you're good. Family cat fishing, evening from Denmark. Thank you very much for joining us. Look at that. Nice little picture there at Riverbank. That's like a nice spot to be fishing. Tight lines, mate, if you're out doing a bit.
Some nice carp fishing in Denmark.
Yeah. Are they good for bream fishing in Denmark as well?
Yes, they did have vast bream shoals. I don't know whether it's still like that out there.
Used to be. Ireland were good for bream as well, wasn't it? At one point.
Yeah, but I don't know. They just seem to have disappeared. All the bream shoals do nowadays.
Evening, Sharpie.
Evening, Sharpie.
George Murdoch says, good evening, everyone. Usual thing, guys. Like I said, there's the link. Top of the chat. Click on it if you want to join us. Gay Smith says, hi all. Evening all.
Evening, Keith.
Family catfish. Congratulations, Grandpa. It's actually Papa. I don't do Grandad. I don't really feel old enough for a grandpa yet, so I'll go with Papa. And to be fair, my dad's grandkids, as in our kids, called them Papa. My mum, grandma, though. My mum, grandma, and my dad, Papa. Don't know why. So it's kind of stuck. It's kind of just followed through. But yeah, sounds a little bit better than Grandad. Even though I do look like a Grandad with a grey beard and grey hair coming on as bad as it is. Dale Sorter says, evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got a good evening from Alan. Evening, Alan.
Evening, Alan.
Vince. Yo, cupcakes. No cupcakes, though, this week. Well, I must be running a short of them. Chris Taylor says, Congrats, Grandpa. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. ANC says, good evening, all. With a wave. Massive congratulations again, Gaz, on the birth of your new granddaughter from Jigs' Mountain View Koi Pond. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. Kelly Nobbs says, congrats. Thank you again. Good evening from Humber Koi. Thank you for joining us, bud. Dad's Koi says no snow in the Midlands. So it's just up Scotland, up north, and sort of like the Yorkshire area, Manchester area. Pretty bad for us.
Me? That can't be me.
No, it's Dad's Koi, not Daz's Koi Farm. Similar.
I've not heard of Daz's Koi before. Imposter.
Chris says just an inch of snow here in North Wales. Sharpie says no snow, just rain. Oh, and rain. Rick says pouring with rain in Hampshire. See, everybody else has got rain.
Yeah.
ANC's got rain. Dino says sorry I'm late to the most. Calm myself. Matt Child says good evening, Gaz, Daz, and all.
Evening.
Terence Gander says good evening.
Evening, Terry.
Blooming heck, there's lots of good evenings. I'm probably way behind that. Mark Giles says, Dino, Famo Koi. Now then, Tony, how's them fish doing, mate? I saw a video of a day. You got one or two. You got one or two that have got a little bit of, looks like some ulcers and bits and bats and a bit of fin rot and what have you. How they doing, mate? I hope everything's better and things are on a turn. Fingers crossed they are. Have you tried, if they aren't, have you tried CT in the pond as well? As in,
yeah.
What is it? What does CT stand for?
Oh God,
I forgot my name.
I've got. My brain's gone blank.
Yeah, I'll think on it. But yeah, it's good stuff. It does do well, but it does kind of reset, kills all your bacteria in your filter as well. Like, so it kind of bleaches the crap out of everything. But
K1
it's a bleach-based treatment, isn't it? But yeah, chloramine tea. Chloramine tea. There you go. Thank you very much. I couldn't remember for life what it stood for. Fanfret Steve says, even though no snow in London, I'm guessing. Now but rain down here. Check out my shop. You'll see it, guys. I mean, that was this morning at about 10:30. I recorded it. My wife woke me up and said, would you do us a favour and drive us to work? It's just started to snow. If it does what it says and forecast, then it could end up being pretty bad. So I thought, like, yeah, go on, and I'll take it. And she said, worst case scenario, if it comes down bad, don't bother risking car to come out. I can walk it in 3/4 of an hour, normal. So it's probably going to take me an hour to get back. And all of a sudden, like at 1:30, she walked through the door. I'm like, what are you doing back? She was shut school and everything. So I've walked up. And she said, it's a good job he didn't come up because there were cars smashed into each other everywhere, all down road. M62 were gridlock both east and west on M62, complete standstill. Nobody could get on nor get off. So I'd have been stuck for hours and hours and hours. So I'm glad I didn't. Yeah. But, it is what it is. We've got, I don't know now, right now. Bear with 1 second. I don't know if it's still snowing.
Yeah. Could have been worse, Gaz. He could have been digging holes and putting fence posts in today.
I'm hoping now that this don't disconnect. If it does, I'll show you. Oh, this is gonna go completely wrong, isn't it? Let's just see. Let's see if this stays on. Crap.
It's the dreaded cable again.
There we go. If you have a look at here now, hopefully, fingers crossed, you can see, look, we've got.
Oh, yeah, you still got it.
Very good coverage.
Yeah.
And it does look now as if it's starting to melt a little bit, coming down a little bit slower, and more of a bit of a slushy ice kind of session going on. Apparently, it's supposed to rain come like 9 o'clock this evening again, or turn to rain.
About 10 miles from the North Pole, aren't you, Gaz?
Feels like it does sometimes, mate. It does. I will say this though. It's chuffing freezing. It is cold. It has proper dropped off. But believe it or not, 2 days ago, the fish were swimming around, sucking outside at pond, going crazy. And I thought, I'll pop out and throw them an handful on. And they charged at it. I thought, God, well, you're ready for a little bit of something to eat, so I'll give them another one. By the time I'd done, I put 4 or 5 handfuls on. And I thought, well, there you go. You've all had a good bit of something to eat. It's been a while since you've had something to eat, like maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I thought, well, they obviously need it or they won't be coming up for it. So we'll give them a bit. And then 2 days later, we're like this.
I honestly think it does them good, Gaz, to keep them ticking over rather than just starving them for the whole winter.
I don't think. I think if they're looking and they're going around sucking outside at pond, chewing on an algae, they're hungry. So that's the way I do it. If I see them searching or looking, then I give them a bit. And the second it hit pond, wham, up, like on a, not as fast as a summer's day, but they all come up, grouped up. And I thought, well, God, that didn't last long. So give them a couple more and a couple more. And then later on in the afternoon, I give them another 2 handfuls. So I thought they had about 5 handfuls. And I'm talking, I was going to start doing it and feeding them more. So I thought the amount of fish that's in there, if I were just giving them 2 or 3 handfuls, there's more numbers in there again. They're not going to get anything substantial if I'm just giving them a little bit. So I give them in total about 5 handfuls, which is a good meandering fistful, wang it on.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, if they're huddled up on the bottom, you don't feed them. But if they're
that's what I mean.
Then
they were literally up and down, swimming around, and then cruising around, going up to sides, and they're all like in a long line, nibbling on side of the bottom,
queuing up for the dinner.
Yeah, it was surprising to see. It was a particularly warmer day, though. It was nice blue skies, dry for once, which was in itself has been a rarity. It's done
the temperatures turn them on really quick, though, don't they? That was the thing that surprises me. You can be freezing one day, and then it can rise up to, say, 10 degrees the next day, and bang, they're on the feed straight away. There's no slow sort of getting into it. They're just instantly hungry. Speaking of which, we're supposed to go 11 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's nuts. That's the thing. I know that's the bit that causes problems with koi, though, isn't it? It's the temperature fluctuations that they don't like, going up there and dropping off, going up and dropping off. But yeah, I've left stuff running because it's mild out there. It's not freezing, but it's cold enough to snow. When I came back, I think it was about 3 or 4 degrees when I dropped Marie off this morning. So we'll see. No snow here. The Mersey salt air breaks it up. Yeah, Jeff and Aaron were saying the same over there, or opposite side of coast, like they were saying they've not had none either. Family carp fishing. What are your thoughts on bead filters on indoor grown ponds and bead filters in general? Right.
I'm not a fan of bead filters myself.
Me neither. And I think a lot of time does. I think we're both probably saying they seem to harbour a lot of shit in them.
They do. To me, they're an old-fashioned thing.
Yeah, it tends to harbour bad bacteria.
Yeah.
So I would say that most people nowadays have gone away from them. I'm not saying that, they
don't work. They do work, but
they do work. Yeah, 100%. But maybe they're a little bit more difficult to service and clean as what you would be on something like
a Nexus or
yeah,
drum filter.
Anything that's got the same kind of media inside it. I mean, they have the place. I think technically a bead filter is something that was taken from the swimming pool type of
filter.
Yeah, that worked for ponds, was it not?
Yeah, that's my understanding. Yeah,
that's not a statement. That's me saying what I think. They look very similar to them anyway, if they're not. But yeah, didn't they used to be filled with sand?
Yeah, they were like sand filters, and yeah.
For me, no, I wouldn't. I think if I had a choice about any filter that I was going to go with, then 100% we'd all go with a drum filter because it removes it, it gets it out, well maintains the pond. It's just a constant water supply that you would need if you're on a meter. I could understand people not doing, but bead filters, I think when it comes to bead filters, I think you'd be better with a moving bed or a static bed with a flush out drainage system so that you can clean it all up and generate it all up like you would do
Well, that's all you do with a bead filter. You just backwash it and flush the crap out. So
but you can't see inside them like you can with, for example, a Tempest, can you?
No,
which is
a lot harder to service it.
Like am I right? I think they have like a clear dome
porthole, yeah.
Yeah, which over time seems to always go opaque and you can't really see in there.
Yeah. Because it's normally made out of perspex, isn't it?
But for me, mate, no, I wouldn't use a bead filter. If I were going to go with a filter, I'd go with something like, if I was doing something or if I wanted a cheaper version, I would go with mechanical filtration first via any form of a chamber, settlement chamber, or sponge matting, jack matting to get your bulk out. And then from that to maybe a static bed, from a static bed to a moving bed, and then returning back. That's how I do it. If I were making my own, if I were buying one and money were an object, I'd go with a drum. If I wasn't going with a drum, then I'd probably be running maybe, if I had the room, a Nexus or something like that. I don't think an Easy Pod. Unless you're literage, but there are a smaller version out there of the Nexus 320. And
Nexus is such a big, ugly piece of kit. Unless you're hiding it in a shed.
I think they are a big ass filter out there. I mean, that would, if you're looking at the picture in the background there, I reckon I don't think I'd have much room left in my shed if I had an Nexus in there. It'd fill my shed, and that's like 8 foot long.
Yeah.
8 foot by 8 foot, I think it is. But yeah. Big thing.
I mean, this is the thing, Gaz. I mean, you've really got to have a filter shed if you don't want to look at all your filtration outside. Nobody does a sort of standalone filtration system that you can hide or cover up.
No,
that's the worst part.
I think though, now these like your combi drums and the moving bed situation, they might not be hideable, but they're not compact, are they? But they're quite neat, tidy systems, aren't they? You can put them in there. That it's all closed up. You can have lights inside them. Some of them have even got RGB lighting in them and stuff. But I think they look, the dogs danglers, when they're done and set up and they're done right and done nice, they do look proper smart.
Yeah.
Stainless steel ones and all, they look even better, I think. The stainless steel ones are mint.
I mean, that is one of my biggest pet hates of the whole koi thing. The big ugly filtration at the side of the pond. And people seem nose blind to it. They don't even notice it. Look at the koi keepers. But that's the first thing I see. I think, oh my God.
A lot of people use like a screen, you know, some kind of putting it behind something. Like, for example, Gisforcoys, where he's all behind a wall, which is the return that comes back in, and all his filtration's behind it. Or using a filter house, filter shed, whatever you want to make it, you know, whatever you want to call it, or a filter house built in to your actual pond build itself. I think when it's all tucked away and out of sight, you can still have a pretty looking pond. That's the reason why I never bothered going back to having a shower, even though the shower I had done before was tiny. I don't even think I'd go back to having a big shower, because it's on a modern pond, they look banging. They look part of the setup. But on a natural pond, in-ground type pond,
it doesn't work, does it?
So out of place. It's unreal.
Yeah.
But we're getting a couple of bits and bats coming in there. I think I just spotted something from Tony's. I will come back to it. But yeah, for me, no, I wouldn't, mate. Not my choice, not my cup of tea. I'm sure I just saw there. Tony said he's had his for 15 years and the vision pan's still vision. Well, there you go. My bead filter is 15-year-old. Dome is still clear, and there's also a glass to see the beads running clean.
I think it depends if it's in sunlight. If the sunlight gets to it, then the UV turns it yellow.
Yeah, that's what I've only, when I've seen ones that have been old ones, I've only ever seen the lid look more opaque yellow. I didn't know there was a vision panel on them. But it's 15-year-old technology, Tony, isn't it? And you know, it's old. 15 years is in the case of pond filters and stuff. That's old school now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been superseded by your drums. The drums are probably the best things that are out there.
Yeah.
I know there are some people that have said, oh, I've had drums and had issues with them. The cleaning cycle uses a lot of water, that kind of thing. But you can't knock them, can you, man? At the end of the day, they do the job and they do it damn well.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, I mean, you say they use a lot of water, but it's giving you a water change, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's instead of you doing what you would do your 20% or 10% a week, isn't it? Yeah. You get it on a regular basis throughout the day.
Yeah.
We got an anytime Daz, which is the bit I just realised now. Sorry, I didn't even need to put that. Was conversation between Daz's Koi, who said thanks for sharing. Anytime Daz. Steve says no snow in London, just rain, pond at 9 degrees. Yeah, I think mine was at 7 or 8 degrees. The day that they're all feeding well, so I'm guessing it's not that now. It's been chugging it down with snow for long enough. I think it'll be a lot more colder, a hell of a lot more colder.
I haven't even seen my fish this week.
Yeah, but your mum's there, though. She'll have seen it. She'll know everything's good.
Yeah.
Good going on your pond, Daz. Daz Pond. All right, that's another one.
This is getting confusing.
Yeah, it is. This is hard. Daz's and Gaz's and everybody else. It's hard enough between me and Daz. We are another Daz being thrown in the middle as well. Right then. Oh, we got to thank you both for doing that. That's our pleasure. That's what it's about. It's what the group's about. We all get together to do it, and we always have, always will. DT says it's getting lighter every night now. You're right, David. It is, mate. It is.
A minute a day,
isn't it?
Half an hour a month.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. You know, you just feel mad at the fucking world. Excuse my French, but it's just been a bit of a work-wise, job-wise, clients, customers.
Yeah,
shit weather, miserable.
It's time of year, guys. I mean, I've had it the same.
It's been an hard month. January were hard trying to get work, Daz, wasn't it? You were the same, mate, weren't you? End of the day, I've had a lot of work that's just tittering by, and it's not till you get through these crap months that work starts coming back in again, and it's
And it's the crap work that you don't really make much on. This is a problem, but you've got to take it because there's nothing else there.
That's it. Every job you're doing is the shit stuff. And you're outside thinking, for example, if I use any thinners, I can put a bit of thinners on my hands, and literally when it's down at like 1 degree, 2 degree, your hands are numb. And the only way to get them warm is to go back in an house and run them under some warm water to get your hands feeling like you can feel them again. Because I'm doing a lot of sanding, a lot of polishing, a lot of spraying. I can't do the spraying because it's raining. I can't do the spraying because it's too cold. I can't do the filling because it's taking 20 times longer. But all that work's still going to be done and still got to be caught up with. You just, all the shit stuff people want stonework repairs doing. You can't get them booked in. You can't get the work finished because it's raining. And when you do get there, you set off, it's pouring dry. When you get to site, it's chucking it down. You think, well, they've only booked you in for raining, for outdoor work. You can't do it. What do we do now? It's just been.
But when the weather's good, that kind of work would just.
It doesn't come out. There is none. Yeah. As soon as sun comes up, there is no stonework to do. It's one of them. But yeah. Bit of a, I don't know.
Another month, guys, and we'll be past it then.
To be fair, I think I'm right looking forward to doing all the stuff that we've done. Not, the koi stuff. I can't do no garden's an absolute shithole. Well, it's not a shithole.
To garden, we've been working in today's
into garden, you stand in boots. It's just like squelch, squelch, squelch. You're soaking up around your feet. It's been blowing a hoolie every evening and all that kind of carrying. So it's been a nightmare. Sweet Acre Koi Farm says, "Hi guys, with a wave. I clicked the thumbs on the way in. Thank you very much, Chris. I hope you're well. Hope everything's good over there." Alan says, "A small amount of snow where I am in central Scotland." That surprised me. I thought you'd have had a bucket load of it, but
yeah,
I don't. I don't do Grandpa. I'm Bumper. LOL. See, Ted calls Marie Canma because he can't pronounce grandma, so it stayed as Canma, and now he's been calling her Canny. Oh, Cammy. Stuff. Christy Coy says, "Evening all. Up north says we've had 2 to 3 inches of snow." I see. Then we got all the chloramine teals, tropical rain season here in Oxford from Tony. Koi Karma says, "Evening all, and congrats on the new edition, guys." Thank you very much, Dave. Hope you're good, bud.
Evening, Dave.
Oh, now there's us complaining about a bit of snow. We've had our first tornado warning here in Illinois this year. Temps are almost 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Weird weather. Yeah, it's messed up everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just rained for 36 hours in a row in Denmark. That's a lot of rain. That's a lot of rain. Skipper's Aquarium says, "Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us." That's a new name. I'll have to have a pop over and have a look at your channel, mate. This one always makes me laugh.
Top channel.
It's a good one, is that one? It really is. Chris Taylor says, mine were the same, Gaz. Matt Charles says, "Evening, everyone." Oh, evening, Chris. Evening, mate, should I say. God, I'm just reading what I wanted to say. Simon Shears says, "Evening, all."
Evening.
Tony says his pond was at 11 degrees yesterday and back at 10.5 today. Now, you only dropped half a degree then, but you've had not but the rain, have you? I have a bead after the Nexus. It's a great bit of kit. Saying that, right? Well, right. Then what's your theory then on the bacterial issue that you've got? Because you've got a bacterial issue. Where do you think it's come from, Tony? Where do you think that issue's come from? Have you any idea what's causing it? And I know you've been doing, what do you call it? Treatment to the fish. And as you showed with the under camera footage on the last video, I didn't comment, mate, because it's not nice to comment on something like that, is it? You watch the video and you think, fingers crossed, hope everything gets good. I hope you get on top of it, mate. But where do you think it's come from? Do you think it could be filtration? Could be a bit of bacteria somewhere that's lurking somewhere? Is there anything that might need a good old deep clean fettle type thing? I know you were doing treatments on the fish individually in the areas as they were doing them, you know, put to heal them up and what have you. But have you treated the water itself? Just questions, mate. Just ideas, but I know sometimes. Well, last summer, Dave had a bit of a bacterial infection in his pond. He CT'd it, and within, I think, like a week and a half, the fish were healing back up, and everything come good. And all the marks that were on little bits here, there, and everywhere, and one or two fish that he had cleaned up, gone, no problem. But he did get a bit of like new pond syndrome again because it knocks back the filtration quite severely. So.
It all depends what strain of bacteria it is, though, Gaz, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
That old thing again. I mean, if it's the really nasty strain, it don't matter what you do. That's
Tony, this is the reason why I didn't want to say because
you haven't got that strain, Tony, and I doubt very much.
It just made me think
which can be treated.
Yeah, is it Ademonas? Is that what you said?
Ademonas, yeah.
Ademonas, yeah. It just, when we were talking the other week about bacterial infections and what have you in people's ponds, and then we all said, like, it seems to have quietened down again. It did, didn't it? And it does. Yeah. And it has. And it tends to do around the winter period as water temperature drops. Your water temperature stayed relatively in what Rick has said in the past is the danger zone, the area where bad bacteria take advantage.
Spring is the time when it starts to rear its head again, though. So.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. He's been having like 15 degrees, which is kind of spring temperatures for your average pond, isn't it?
Yeah.
As it kicks in. But yeah, just an idea, mate, with the CT, the chloramine T.
Yeah. What's the other one?
We just said this other day and I couldn't remember. The yellow, where it makes your water go, looks like
it looks like
bright yellow kind of colour.
Fluorescent marker in it, yeah.
I can't remember it. Can't remember what it's called.
I'm sure it's a T.
Oh, there we go. Claude. There we got. We've got one there that says with capital letters. Am I missing some here? I like to see what's going in the filter bead. Your restricted lovely Nexus 320. There you go. That's it. You can see what's going on, can't you? You can see it all. Might put a vision panel in my 3-barrel system. You would still have room. Yeah, just squeeze past it like that, Dave, I think. I don't think they're quite big, aren't they? They're quite big.
Yeah.
Claude says, evening. Any advice on an aranda with swim bladder problem? Often upside down.
Yeah.
Others are too fine waters. All tests okay, mate. The thing is,
I'll tell you right now, there's a brilliant video out at the moment. Luke's Goldies. He's done a video on arandas with swim bladder issue and hand feeding them shelled peas. And getting the aranda to eat the peas. He was holding it in his hand the right way up because it kept floating belly up. And he was just moving it along and he was hoovering up the peas. And within, I think, 2 days, it was completely cured. So watch his video, Luke's Goldies.
Now, there's another thing you can do, mate. Well, you can't. Oh, well, you could if you wanted to, but I mean, I won't advise it. This on a swim bladder, there's two sections to it. There's a front and the rear. And I do believe that fluctuating the air between one to the other is what makes the fish rise and fall with buoyancy. And normally when they get a bit constipated is what causes the swim bladder to not work effectively. Hence the reason why feeding the peas is supposed to work, as it makes them go for a number two. Getting the peas into the system obviously ain't that easy, but you know,
that's the hardest part.
Fish to feed, it's all very well, but the peas sink to the bottom and the fish is floating on the surface. It can't get down for it. Now, the main thing is, mate, with all types of fancy goldfish, is to feed sinking food, because the rising to the surface to take the food is what causes the issue with going from lower down to rising up through the depths.
That's shallow when they're eating the food as well.
There when they're eating, yeah, they're not supposed to. They're supposed to be down at the bottom and feeding. So they always say feed sinking food, which causes less of the problem in the initial first place. Now, I've had it where a couple of the fancy goldfish that I had outside, I mean, these fancy goldfish were 7, 8 years, 9 years old. And when my daughter moved out, they went out into the little mini pond and they were in there for 3 years. Daz has got. I got two that got one that got dropsy, and the other one that got swim bladder, whatever you want to class it as. But the other one, the last one, remaining one, went to Daz's. Now we managed to do the same thing, and I started feeding sinking pellets, and the fish went down, fed, got some food in it, passed, and then was right as rain. And then we got into last winter, it was fine, it was at the bottom. Coming to spring, and I was feeding a little bit of floating stuff as well, and all of a sudden, boom, it came back again. And then after about a week or two of it having it come back, I lost it. But I don't know if I lost that because of age or whether I lost that because of the swim bladder. I can't really say. The other one I definitely lost because of dropsy. It were all pine coned up. But again, an old fish, 6, 7, for a fancy goldfish.
Yeah, 10 years is about as much as you can expect out of a fancy.
Yeah. So one that's being kept outside because really not really supposed to do. And the tank is a good 700, 800 deep, or 700. I think that little mini pond is. It's a bit much more depth. They prefer a shallower water, don't they? I believe.
Yeah.
Supposed to. But yeah, my experience, mate. Whenever I've had it, I didn't look. We're trying to feed them peas. I tried it. It's quite easy to shell peas, to be fair. And then I tried to chop them up right fine so I could get them because they do sink. But I just couldn't get the fish to get down there to be able to feed on it.
Well, you watched that video of Luke's goldies. I mean, that's all he does. He just does goldfish, and it's just holding it in his hand the right way up and just moving it along in front of the peas. And it was just going hoovering them all up.
So it got to the point where the fish was hungry enough to be able to feed while it was still in his hand. Then, yeah. I think there's another thing that I have heard him do before as well. You can take them put them into a tank with shallower water and bring down the water level so the fish has got less water to be buoyant within, and then slowly increase that water level back up in the hope that once the fish is right at its swim bladder, it can come good again. But
there is a treatment as well. I think it's a Tetra one. I'm not sure. That's done specifically for treating swim bladder issues. Whether it works or not, I've never tried it myself. I don't know.
Well, I've seen another one as well, Daz, and it's on YouTube. It's a vet that treats a fish with swim bladder, and all he does is he uses a hypodermic syringe, and they go into this. Obviously, this is done so that they make sure they're in the right place. I think it's done it under X-ray or some stuff like that, or some kind of a scan. And he goes in and he takes the air out, and then the fish rights itself. But even that particular fish, several months later, we're back there for the same thing doing again. So
very often it's just a short-term thing, and it just happens again. But the frustrating thing is,
of them, and the
down to
the body shape, isn't it?
Yeah. But the frustrating thing is as well, a lot of the high-end fancy goldfish foods are floating. I mean, I bought a bag of Hikari goldfish Aranda food, bloody floating.
Yeah.
So be careful when you're choosing your goldfish food. Make sure that it is sinking.
Yeah, it is. I've fed the Hikari color enhancer to those, and that were a small. It was probably a micro pellet, maybe like 2 mil, and that sank, literally sank like rocks straight to the bottom. And I always used to feed them that once I'd been told you should be feeding them sinking pellets. And the others that I kept after that one, they had it for a good 3 years before it became an issue outside. But I think it was one particular cold winter that kind of.
Yeah, they don't like it really, really cold.
As well, colder water's not too good.
Yeah. A mild winter, I get away with keeping mine outside. But if it turns really cold, I bring him in the tunnel.
Yeah, you lowered the depth as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
The tank that you held them in too.
Yeah, that seemed to make a difference.
Cold if they are outside as well, cold, mate, does affect them with your swim bladder as well. It does seem to make a bit of a difference. But there's a couple of ideas, man.
Speaking of which, talking about cold, I had a fish that Sankey, and this may have happened to quite a few people this winter. Well, I know it's happened to a few, and it had sleeping sickness. And it was on its side. I brought it into the tunnel. I didn't have a facility to heat it up to 26 degrees or whatever. I just can't afford to heat a pool to that temperature. So the tunnel was the next best thing. It's a few degrees warmer in there.
She wasn't happy, was she?
0.3. No, she wasn't happy. I've salted it to 0.3, and I kept her in there. And every time I went down, she'd be on her side, and I kept thinking, she's dead. I give her a poke with a net pole, and she'd swim off. I come down the next day, and she'd be on her side again. And this went on for about 6 weeks. And then all of a sudden, she righted herself, and she's been swimming around for about the last week or so, week and a half. No problem at all. So if you get a fish like that, don't give up. Salt it to 0.3.
Yeah, true.
And persevere. Don't just whack it on the head and think it's a goner. Give them a fair chance, and hopefully it'll turn around and it'll pull through.
Well, you saw that one that I got from Jeff. Come out of Jeff's pond at 14 degrees, I think it was at the time on the particular day that he brought him over. Brought it back to Huddersfield.
Yeah.
After a short staycation, doesn't go down, then came to mine, and within 4 or 5 days, we had that big plummet in temperature where water went cold again. And that fish were slumped over on its side. And me and Jeff were even at a point of saying, excuse me, that was fizzy pop, that. Jeff was saying, should I come over? Should I pick it up? Should I bring the fish back over and we'll bring it back after spring, once weather warms up a bit? And I was like, oh, I don't know if it's even going to make it, mate. So, evening. Thank you for joining us.
Morning, you mean?
Look at this.
But boys, you're lucky I can't sleep.
So, as I was saying, with that fish were lulled on its side. The week later, obviously, the cold went again and it warmed back up again. And I was thinking that when we got that ice over, when my pond was completely iced over a month. Over a month. Yeah, it has already. January's gone. Yeah. Pond was completely frozen over. I thought, I'm going to be having trouble with that fish again. That was a big lump of snow that just landed on the roof. I thought we're going to be having trouble with it again. It's going to be the same thing. Complete opposite. All the rest of the fish grouped up together. Jeff's fish, Yorkshire, hard bastard now, cruising around. Last one, still looking for food. That one. I was like, this is complete polar opposites to how it was 10 days prior. But again, as this cold come back in again, they were all round and it were up there feeding with best of them and not having an issue. They're all down low again now. Well, as low as you can go in 700 mil deep pond. As down as low as they can go, like, obviously. But yeah, it's weird. Sometimes I think if they're just not feeling 100%, and they get a bit of a dramatic swing temperature, just knocks them for a 6 a little bit. But if you stick with it and persevere through it and see what happens, or you can bring it in somewhere slightly warmer like Daz has, you can turn it around, because she's good now, isn't she, yours?
Yeah, she's perfect now. Yeah.
Back outside again or still in there?
I'm going to move her out the end of this week. Yeah.
Just for proper cold weather.
Yeah.
Really test her.
Just to see if she's properly fixed.
So how's it going in Japan, Lee?
Yeah, it's good, mate.
Enjoying it?
Oh, mate, you cannot not enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? It's tiring, to be honest, going around all the koi houses, fair dues, but you get back in the evening, have something to eat, and yeah, you're just done. Like 9:30 last night, I was like, I'm going to sleep, man. I'm done. Do you know what I mean? But then you wake up early, so there's still a little bit of, I wouldn't say I'm jet lagged, but there's still a little bit of, do you know what I mean? That going on in the background somewhere,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, mate. It's just great over here. When you're out in the day, you're not tired at all. But like, sort of like when you have an Asahi and some Wagyu, then it's time for bed then.
Have you dibsed any fish yet?
I would be all the way around it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty disciplined, to be honest. Yeah, I've dibsed 2. Yeah, I've got I bought a nice small kawaku, just a tozai from Odakan. That's from Danichi Toyota. Real high grade little tozai, cost a couple of quid, but I had to buy something over here. And then I was in Yamaguchi yesterday, and I picked out a small kawaku as well for Azagari there, because I done so well with the last one. Not quite as I'm not quite as happy as with it as I was with the one last year, but you know what I mean. Like, to be honest, yeah, his really good Tozai were. If you watch the video back, right, the good Tozai in that small like bowl, there must have been about 15 in there, mate. They were mega money, mate. You could have you probably could have bought a nice car with the
Wow.
price that you'd pay for one of those. You know, people don't understand like how crazy it is over here. You know, you can get really nice koi, you know, for an average price.
Yeah.
You can get really special koi for a good price, but for those really, for their cashiers and stuff like that, mind blowing money. You know, you're talking, oh, mate. I can't even pull figures out. You know, mate, it's mad, mate.
Stupid
Between
money.
7 and 15 grand will get you a real good one if you want one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's for a 25 cm Tozai. It is mind blowing.
Wow.
Now, they're not everywhere.
Yeah, man.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they are literally, one or two or maybe half a dozen out of the whole spawning. But
when you're talking
still,
about a 15 grand Tozai, that's got to be something special, though, hasn't it? That's
It
got to
is
be a
something.
banger. That.
Have a look
That's
at-
going to be coming home, stick it in all shows, romp it all the way through, take every trophy and every rosette there is to go with it, surely.
well, yeah, depending on what the judges see. But if you look at the thumbnails I'm putting on all my pictures are sort of like in my opinion, the best Tozai I see of the day. Do you know what I mean? If I can get it in a bowl and take a picture, do you know what I mean? Obviously, when you go to some dealers and you get a price and it's like, 2.5 million yen, you can't exactly go, oh, can I stick it in a bowl, take a picture for YouTube? Do you know what I mean? It's like a 15 grand fish. Do you know what I mean? So if I get the opportunity, I do, and they are really the breeders are really quite happy to do that. They're very, they're very nice, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it's going to be. It is a little bit, especially a channel like yours that gets as many hits as what you're doing. It's a little bit of advertisement for them and their farm as well, though, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think this year I've come over some of the more obscure farms. Like, we went to a few yesterday, which Ryan hasn't been to for a while, but they're still amazing farms. But they're just out the way and they're not so popular for some reason. But yeah, some of the farms that I've been visiting regular in the last year and stuff. I think they do appreciate it, especially like the younger guys, like like Yamaguchi and stuff like that. He's really on the pulse, mate, to be honest. And I think they realise that a bit of advertising is good. But, you can look at Takano as well. We're going to go and see Uncle Takano this morning, so I'm looking forward to that. But you can, like, Takano's always been sort of, like, popular, his Secret Sankey lineage. But I think from Koi Wholesale and maybe my channel last year, the last few years, he's really blown. I don't think he can really keep up with the orders he gets now, and he's a one-man band, like, he's an old fella, but he's full of beans, but still, he pulls in help from Danichi Koi Farm and, friends. He pulls in help from, like, all different people when he's doing, like, the harvests and probably, like, I don't know, maybe the spawnings and the selections. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I haven't been here at that point in a time of year, but yeah, he's even though he's a hobbyist, mate, he's got a lot of stock. Do you know what I mean? He's got a lot of stuff going on.
Have you been to Dainichi?
Not yet. No, not yet. See, the thing is, when I'm over here with Ryan and Kevin,
it's massive. That place is huge.
It's huge, but
massive.
Yeah, it is huge. But the problem is, it's really difficult to buy there because
yeah.
Like, it's all on auctions now, and now obviously there's lots of online auctions, and now for some reason Shigeru has seen a new market where they're doing like like auctions when you're there. Do you know what I mean? And there's auctions all the time now. So for someone like Ryan or me, like, Ryan's very good at what he does. What he does is he's not stupid. He realizes there's more to koi than the Danichi Koi Farm and the Sakai Koi Farm. Obviously, they're incredible, but to get their cream, to get their Kashira, their number one Tozai, you ain't gonna get it. You not even if we all sell our houses together and put that money in a pot, you probably won't buy it. All right, but by going around all of these smaller farms around Niigata and Ojiya, which is absolutely amazing. These smaller farms, they do produce absolute amazing results. And they're Kashira, they're number one from the spawnings. They ain't far off. And a lot of these farms do use the same bloodlines and all that kind of stuff. So you are essentially buying one of the big hitting bloodline Sankey, Showers, or Kawakus or something like that. But you're doing it at a fraction of the cost with not far off the quality of what you would get from one of the big farms. And what you're doing as well is you're not just going into Danichi, talking to Shigeru and going, oh, where's your number one? And he goes, oh, it's there. It's been picked for you. He knows it's the number one. He's told you it's the number one, and it's been picked for you, and it's been priced accordingly, right? And that, for me, ain't much fun. It's not.
No.
But when you're going around the smaller koi farms, some of them don't even keep their top stuff. They do keep their top stuff, but it might be in a pond of 200 or 300 tozai, and you know it's in there, and the enjoyment is netting it and going through stuff, and then going, ooh, that's boom, that's the one. Do you know what I mean? And things like that is real fun. Do you know what I mean? That's the enjoyment for me. And taking that fish back to the UK and possibly doing well with it in the show scene, or just being super happy with it in your
you have it in your own pond,
You know what I mean? It's incredible. And that's brilliant. So there's two ways to do it: go with a massive wallet and just and just ask where's your best and then pay for it, or get your binoculars out and have a little look yourself.
What about this one? On a similar sort of thing.
Fun to me.
When you went down to, was it Waterbarn, and you selected some Tosai from there?
Yeah.
Do they have Tosai? I don't mean like them there, because obviously they're going to be of no disrespect. I'm not meaning it in any way, shape, or form. They're Tosai that you could go through and select through in Japan. You would like to think would be a better selection of Tosai to go through with what's over here in the UK. Can you go out there and flick through, well, not flick through, but net through some fish and think, right, there's 10 bangers that I really want to see grow on and have them and bring them back over? Or you'll get a scoop, there you go, that's what's available, kind of thing.
I know what you mean. Every farm is different. It's crazy. Every farm is different, and they've got a different mindset. It's all to do with they don't want to give all their best koi to one dealer. Do you know what I mean? Good. So they have to find a way. Okay, let's put it this way, right? Let's just say Miyatora is first day, February the 1st is the first day that you can go and sift through his Tosai, right? And you've got access to all ponds, and you can crack on. If you put Ryan in there, he's knackered, because he'll have 6 boxes gone to the UK, and they will be his top fish. They're gone. Do you know what I mean? Now, you might get someone else going from a different breeder, maybe in Europe or something like that, which maybe hasn't got such a keen eye, which will be picking what he deems to be the best fish, right? But necessarily, he probably hasn't picked out of the top 20% at all. But if you put someone in there with a keen eye, like Ryan or something like that, those farms,
it's understanding the development in it.
They literally get raped of all their best fish. Yeah. And then consequently, the breeders that go afterwards, the dealers that go afterwards, especially there's lots of dealers with good eyes, they're obviously coming down and down and down in standard. So the way they do it, we were in Miyatora's the other day, wasn't we? And we were selecting, and he'll go, oh yeah, you can have 5 scoops from that pond, which is maybe only 20% or 10% of the pond's volume, right? So Ryan will sort of pick all the best stuff from there, but there's still loads of good stuff that he probably hasn't even seen. So it's fair
because it didn't come out in the scoop kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's a good way of doing it. Yeah.
It's a fair way of doing it, isn't it? Then you get to select what they say. Right here, there's 15 in that bowl, 15 in that bowl. You get 5 scoops of however many they can get out, and that's what you pick from. Then the next people that come in get to sit through the belters that might have already been missed on the last lot. I suppose that's it's only a fair way to really do it, isn't it? But
yeah, and there was a different farm we went to yesterday. I can't remember the name of it. It sounds like the word F-U-C-K, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it. But anyway, it's a farm he hasn't been to for a while, and he went to select some Nisai, right? And he had there's how many ponds do you have? 5 ponds, with a selection of fish, everything, you know, from Goromo to Kawaku to Akamatsu, everything was in there. So like literally, this farm does a bit of everything, right? So it's 5 ponds. The fish range from probably about 35 to 45 cm, I would say, and you know, probably 500 fish in each, something like that, right? And then the negotiation starts then, and that's where you need a good agent, like Atsushi from Mr. Nishinagai is really liked over there because he's quite charismatic. He's quite a handsome-looking half Mexican, half Japanese fella, and he's got a good relationship with the farms. You see, so when he goes in there, the farm will go, okay, so we can net up 2 ponds of the 5. So again, someone with a keen eye hasn't got, you know what I mean, his eye on all 5 ponds. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So then a little bit of negotiation, because Ryan was like that. Well, I don't mind paying a bit more, which he should do if he can get a little bit of a advantage and be able to select from another pond. So Ryan got to select from 3 ponds instead of 2 out of the 5. Okay, and then consequently, I think he had 6 boxes of Nisai, and they were really nice. You know, really really nice standard of koi. You know, which would grace any sort of like dealership in the UK. You know, would be like like for instance, if you went to Perfect Aquatics and seen those 6 boxes in his main pond, you'd be pretty happy as a punter going down there to have a sift through to select for anything you really want. Clean, lovely koi. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just I just didn't imagine him. I mean, obviously you've probably got to be a dealer side of things, but could you have done that too? Could you have had if I know obviously you'd probably have to have the right amount of money, but could you go there yourself personally, not just Ryan, and pick through, let's say, can I have through those 2 ponds or that 1 pond, can I select out of X amount of fish? Would they allow you to do that? Or...
Nah, mate. Like if you're going over there as a hobbyist and you haven't got a pet shop license and you haven't got a facility and you probably haven't got like what I don't know about the business side of it, but the numbers you need for the business
the
and all that kind of stuff.
And all the rest of it, yeah.
That's right. So, you know, you couldn't just turn up to I couldn't turn up to a koi farm, right? And just go, right, I want to buy a box of those. Because they'll be like, yeah, okay, you can pick the fish. Even if you could persuade yourself, even if you could talk yourself through the door, like Catch Me If You Can, right? And get in there and select 2 boxes of Tozai, right? You know, they at the end of the selection they're going to go, right, where's your paperwork then? Who are you shipping through? Where's your agent? Where's it going back to?
So there's all that side of it.
You're pissing in the wind, you know? So if I was to do it, you'd have to have an agent. That agent would have to arrange a time and a day for the dealer to be in those koi houses. Do you know what I mean? And then he's got all the paperwork. He does all the paperwork to ship it back to the UK. And then in the UK, then it has to be picked up by a registered authority, you know, like Crafty, Perfect Aquatics, exclusively koi, to be able to get quarantined. And that's the way it is, you know.
But you also have to have a registration certificate to transport.
That's right, yeah.
Straight from
the shipping side of it.
You actually have to show when you're down there that you've got the right equipment on board in case you have a bag split. So you can basically rehome the fish there and then.
The reason for the questioning of it, obviously, is because when we've spoke, we'd love to go kind of thing, but I would love to go just for the experience of it all. I don't think I could actually afford anything that was really out there, but I would love to go for the experience of it. But obviously, it's all these questions that you sit talking about amongst yourselves. Unless you're there, you don't really know how it works. But what about the side of the public in Japan? You know, like for example, New Forest Koi, me and Daz can jump in his car, make an appointment, whiz down. Right, we've come to have a look through these. Can we pick through that? We can take that. Both. Can the Japanese public go there and do that and buy?
Yeah, I think
they can do it in that sense. It's just bringing them from there to the UK with all the.
That's the key. Yeah. So I think when you're in Japan in October, if you can remember, I went to Sakazumi Koi Farm and I picked out a really small Chibinisai Kawaku. Right, that's in the UK now. That was so when you're driving around the mountains in Niigata and Nagoya, you'll see a lot of the farms that we don't actually go to be honest, as well. But some of the farms that are quite popular, like Sakazumi, they will have vats outside their facility on the side of the roads, right? And you can stop there. It's like a koi jumble sale, right?
Yeah,
And they're
that's
for
sweet.
hobbyists. They're literally for hobbyists, right? Because there's hobbyists all over the mountains. You will see thousands, tens of thousands of ponds, and some of them are quite small, right? And that's because they're probably on a hobbyist's land and they're just having a laugh at spawning, you know? And when you're driving around as well in October, you'll see a lot of really small district kind of hobbyist shows, right? I was kind of keen to go to some, but you know, obviously I was a passenger on a moving train that was going to different farms, so I didn't have time to go to see these things, right? I did go to see one of them actually, if you go back on them, and it was amazing. And the quality of fish there are unbelievable. And when you go to these koi boot sales, right, on the side of the roads, mate, honestly, it's really, really good. Like, and like when they say sometimes the best fish don't leave Japan, sometimes the best fish are in a hobbyist bloody garden. Do you know what I mean? Because they're cool. Because that small fish I got from Sakazumi was realistically aimed at hobbyists, you know? And because I wanted that fish so bad, Ryan had to make up a box of his other fish to take that one home, right? So, you know, I was like, Ryan, I want that fish. He goes, I'll have to make a box then. I said, crack on, but I want that one, you know?
So that's cool, though, that you can still get that individual fish that might be randomly there or just looked over, but something that you obviously took your eye and you liked.
Yeah, mate, it's and like I said, today now in Yamaguchi. So, you know, so we Ryan graded through 2 different ponds. Like the first batch of Nisai from this year, which was about 25 cm, and then the second spawning then, which is about 20 cm, because obviously they're a little couple of months behind, right? So obviously Ryan hammered this pond, and mate, breeders really hate Ryan because like he like sort of like have a Nisai pond, a Tozai pond of like 500 pieces, right? And he'll be lifting all of these into a bowl, and you'll see the breeders going, oh, I am literally just got raped of everything that was good in that pond. Do you know what I mean? And that's the truth, mate. Mate, he's a bugger. And then he done the smaller Tozai pond. He done that, and I point out a few bits and bobs that I thought they think they might like, and they'll either go, "Oh, you fucking blind pal," or they'll go, "Oh yeah, I missed that one." Do you know what I mean? Right? But there was a Kawaku in there that I really liked, right? And they didn't pick it, and I was like that. I said, Kevin, I said, lift that out, and Ryan didn't see that, and then anyway, we went back to the bowl, and he goes, "Oh, that's a nice Kawaku," and I was like that. Hey, I said, eyes off. I said, I picked that one out on my own. I said, Kevin missed that one. And he goes, oh, all right. So I had that one. That's the one I had. And I'm really happy with that because I picked that out of the pond without Ryan or Kevin seeing it. Do you see where I'm coming from? So it was truly my own selection, that was. And that's going to be staying there as Azakari. Mate, Yamaguchi loves me, right? So when he was writing down all the prices for these Kawakus and all that kind of stuff, some of them were like mouth-wateringly expensive, right? And I said, hey, Yamaguchi, remember I just given you a hat and a t-shirt? I said, discount. I said, discount. And he wrote, mate, mine was nothing. It should have been way more, but mine was like, he goes, oh, yeah, 1,000 yen. I was like, that. Oh, but Ryan was like that. You bastard. Yeah, I said, I said, you got to make some friends out there, mate.
Well, for me, it's the same as when you meet with other people, like when you're out on the koi scenes and you're going around it, you suddenly realize that everybody's just really people, normal people, and the fact that they're all into like the karaoke and all that kind of stuff, you put them in this bubble, don't you, that you think, you know, that these super fans and all the rest of it, and really they're just everyday kind of people that have laugh and banter and joke with you just the same as everybody else.
They're not only everyday people, they're farmers.
Yeah.
That's all they are. They're farmers. Well, they're not just farmers to us, but they're farmers. That's all they are. Their fish are the equivalent of a Welshman's sheep.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in Japan, there's someone that would like to collect Welsh mountain sheep. And for them, old Di Jones at Brecon could be
charging him an arm and a leg.
A god.
Yeah, you could be like a god to him. You know what I mean? So everyone has got a hobby. Those people at the top end, or those people that like breeders that you're buying what you love off at different grades and different qualities. Obviously, they're going to become gods in a sense, but they are. You know, you admire them, don't you? You know.
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah.
But we sat down with Yamaguchi yesterday to have some Wagyu. He invited us out. Well, yeah, Ryan dropped a couple of quid there. So he goes, oh, I'll invite you out for Wagyu. So we probably ate a cow, to be honest, right? And mate, it's just brilliant because actually Yamaguchi speaks not bad. He doesn't speak English all the time, but he does speak quite well English, right? Good English. He's quite educated, Yamaguchi is. And he was just talking about different traits of koi. It's just mad because we were like that. Well, because he wants to start breeding a different variety. And like Ryan was like Goshki, and he goes, oh no, too hard. And then he goes, what about Ginner and Showa? Because he does lovely Showa, mate, right? He goes, Ginner and Showa, and he goes, nah, too hard for the first selection. So apparently when you're doing a selection for Showa, obviously you pick up all the black fry, don't you? Because it's a black fish, right? You know, Kawaku, white fry, whatever, right? And he goes, but the Ginner and Showa, he goes, is nails for the first selection. And he goes, I can't be bothered, it's too hard. So Ginner and Showa, but like, you know, that's what makes me think that the Hiroi twins are the dog's bollocks because they specialize. The Ginner and Showa is amazing. The Ginner and Goshki is amazing, you know? And my argument is, well, there's two of those, so they find it easier.
Yeah.
You know? But it is mad. And like he was saying as well, we were talking about Ginner and Kawaku, and he goes, he had some nice Ginner and Kawaku there. He goes, the problem is with Ginner and Kawaku is because the Benny's very weak. Even if you see a Ginner in like Kawaku, that's the dog's nuts. He goes, it's still super weak compared to standard, you know, Kawaku. Yeah. And it's just like stuff like that's really interesting. And then we were talking about lemon Arawaki because I made a joke about one. I don't particularly like him, but I said you should breed those. Anyway, and he goes, oh no. He goes, the key, the yellow on any fish is nails. Do you know what I mean? It's too hot. If you try to grow them too hot, it goes. And he goes, also, if you give them color food, because the yellow needs color food, but if you give them too much, you start to get red spots everywhere on them. He goes, it's a nails variety, like, you know?
Yeah.
And loads of other things. It's just so interesting, just sitting down and spending time with them, like, you know?
But it's belting, mate. I'm envious. I'll be honest.
Well, mate, it can happen. Hey, Gaz, you can come with me this year at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, but it's not as expensive as people think. As long as you're not daft and you can have a budget. It is difficult, mind. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'm quite disciplined, so I've got a budget in my head at the moment, and it's not a lot. Do you know what I mean? Compared to what actually people do spend. Do you know what I mean? But like the average koi trip, what you're talking, 1,000 to 1,500 quid return for the flight. This room is 50 quid a night, right? And it's so cheap. You know, there's 7-Elevens when you're getting like a sandwich.
Yeah,
and stuff like
Evo
that.
said that, didn't he? And one of his videos,
So cheap.
he just straight in there for a few bits and bats, a couple of nibbles, everything's in there. It might not be in English, but you can get a general gist of what it is. But the food's banging.
Yeah, food's banging, mate. It's great, and it's not. You know, I would say for a week in Japan, it costs you $3,000 with some spending money and all that kind of stuff. And that, mate, that's
not really that bad, is it, for that kind of?
It's not, mate. People think it's bad. You know, people do think it's horrendous, but it's really not. I think it tricks them because it's literally the other side of the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just assume it's super expensive, but you know, the pound to the yen at the moment is really strong as well. So that's good. You know.
Yeah.
What about yourself then, Crafty? When you're off away over there soon, aren't you? You're getting your
Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's it. He's in. Ready. Bags packed already.
No doubt we'll bump into each other and whatnot. No doubt we've planned some.
100%.
We'll definitely bump into each other. Bump and grind, bump a glat.
Oh, look at that, Daz. There you go. See, peas eaten, fed by hand. Sweet. Hope for fingers crossed, Claude. It works. And
Brilliant.
it comes good. Hope so. Keep us up to date, mate. Let us know.
Yeah.
DT's just said that. Oh, missed it. DT's just said I thought it would be 6K for Jan. I thought that's kind of more the price I thought it would have been as well.
Of the flight I booked has just gone down to £867 return.
My flight was about 900. Well, just under £1,000, 980 or something like that.
Yeah, even more for you, DT, if you're taking the family.
Bearing in mind, if you was to go to America, just flights only,
It's about
the
it's
same,
about a
just
grand odd
probably
return,
more,
isn't it?
you know? But yeah, flights are okay. You know, then you've got your taxi fare, it's about 100 quid, and then 70 quid.
Yeah, so you got the flight.
Kenton as well.
Yeah, then you've got the taxi fare, which you can go on the metro for like literally peanuts. It's so cheap, the metro is. Taxis, for some reason, are the most expensive form of transport in Japan, but it's just ease. You get out of the Haneda airport and the taxis are right in front of you. You don't wait, they're queued up waiting for you. And it's 70 quid to do about a 25-minute journey, but it's worth 70 quid. You've got all your suitcases, you know, you've just done a 14-hour flight. Do you know what I mean? 70 quid, just pay it and do it. And then
think about hiring a car.
Well, you could do from Tokyo, but it's a hell of a drive. Like the Shinkansen, to get the Shinkansen, there's about 100 quid to get to Nagata, right? And that's about two hours or 2.5 hours. But to drive, oh no, I've actually done it. I've actually driven as well, actually, with that sushi back to the airport last year, and that probably took us about 4 hours, I think.
It's a bit of a slog, then, isn't it? It's a bit of
a or maybe a bit more, maybe a bit more. Pardon?
After a flight, that's a graft, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to say that.
You know, and you're hanging out, but you know, obviously you can get a car up here. It's definitely so. But that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm hoping that maybe there's a way where I can sort of like host three people at a time over here and take them around with me, Ryan, Kevin, and Mr. Nishnagoy, in a small group, because the breeders are really welcoming. But in October, when it gets busy, they don't like.
That's full on season.
They don't get well. One breeder gets pissy. Otsuka will tell you if he's pissed off. But like, a little group, mate. As long as they're respectful and quiet and tidy, you know, it will be the trip of a lifetime. Do you know what I mean? So I'm hoping to take 3 or 4 at a time. I'll rent a car and just follow the boys around. Do you know what I mean? It's just something to give back, really. It'd be nice, you know.
Yeah.
Will you pay for the trick for them as well?
Only if they're good at giving head.
Okay. I'm in.
I'm joking. No, I'm trying to work out a way to do it, because what they'll have to do is obviously they'll have to pay for their flights and all that kind of stuff, and then probably just meet them at Heathrow, I guess, and then accompany them over or something. I don't know. I haven't worked the ins and outs out, but it can be definitely done. Do you know what I mean? It's easy enough.
If you're over there as well, you know.
Yeah, it's not rocket science, mate. It's like
on the train, meet you at the train station.
At the train, it's really easy. Like, do you know what I mean? All you need is like a postage stamp, and then just write what you do, and then you can do it. It's not hard, but it would be nice to be able to give real enthusiasts the experience that I've got, and I've only got this because of my channel. So not many people have got a channel, so it'd be nice just to, you know, give back, like, you know. Preferably female, between 30 and 45. Joking.
So what time is it now there, Lee? Sorry.
It's all right, mate.
What time is it here? I don't know. It's about
5 to 6.
Oh, it's 6 o'clock. It's 2 minutes to 6. So I've got about 45 minutes before I go to Starbucks for breakfast. And then we're going to see Uncle Takano. Oi, oi. Yeah.
Go on, bud. Sorry, I cut you off there.
I'm just playing up some of your vids, Lee, because I've got a couple of appointments lined up with a couple of the breeders that you've already been to.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit pissed that Rye's got in there first, because
you're probably
he left for you.
But going back, mate, there's plenty of fish, mate. There's plenty.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's plenty, mate. It's like it's just. I'll just take.
But I want to go back to something that Daz was on about. I'd like to go there, but I think most of the fish will be out of my budget. Mate, they ain't. We went to Shinoda Koi Farm the other day, and we were getting absolutely incredible small tozai hiyatsuri and stuff. For mate, you know, I think the small fish landed in this in Britain are going to be, you know, like, you know, obviously because Ryan's getting them in bulk and they're coming back. I think off the top of my head, like 60 quid or something like that, mate. But they're nice packed as well.
Yeah, so good stuff.
You can do them cheaper than that.
Yeah.
I had some fishing from Shinoda in November, and I got a good deal on them.
35, 40 quid.
I've actually let them go for 30 quid a piece.
Yeah, exactly. So if you,
the heat Suris.
Yeah. But I tell you, they're banging little fish. They are perfect little grow on. Snap ups. Like, get yourself 10 of them, right? Rather than one good fish, and then grow them on and learn from them. You know, quite a few people said.
Well, listen, mate, I don't have to smuggle anything in. Like I said on my last video, I was talking to Ryan, and I was like, that. Listen, dude, I said, you know, like, we're coming into season now, and I know a load of people have got grow-ons, right? And they want it's special to have a grow-on selected and shipped back from Japan, right? So I was saying, is there a way where we can sell boxes to hobbyists? You mean, so you know, a selection of a box selection. You can see, you know, that you can message him. He'll video him in the bowl. They'll go in your own box and they'll get shipped back then and get QT'd, and then you can go and get them, or they can get delivered to you. So that's a possibility, and they're not expensive. I think it depends on the farm, but I think you normally get 30 tozai in a box, which are about, you know, 20 cm, I guess, on average. Well, 15 to 20 cm. And I think you get 30 in a box, and they're between 35 and maybe 55 pounds, depending on the grade. Do you know what I mean? And what farm it is. And loads of people I've arranged loads of boxes to get sold to hobbyists. Like, you know, I don't make nothing from them. It's just nice to help the boys. You know what I mean? They take me over here and show me around the mountains. So if I can make a sale for them, and anyone wants a fish that they see on my video, I'll just go send me your number and talk to Ryan. Do you know what I mean?
Or send me your number and I'll see if I can get it from
Crafty. Yeah, exactly. Or Crafty, when Crafty's out. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's well worth it, you know. It's and it's interesting. Like I said, it's good because when we're selecting all the fish, all the videos you can see. I know if I was in the UK and I had someone doing that, I'd be glued to the screen, because I'd be like that. Snapshot, how much is that? You know what I mean? I'd be excited because you're almost there shopping with me. Do you know what I mean? It's class because they're all for sale. Like, you know, it's amazing.
You have, haven't you?
Yeah, we have been to Odecan, mate. I've bought something in Odecan already.
Okay. I was trying to
Denichi Toyota Kawaku, mate. It is banging, a 4-step marathon. I've got another one from Yamaguchi as well today. Yesterday.
I've got an appointment with him as well.
Yeah. Oh, mate, you love him. We'll go out with him. We tried to get Kobayashi out last night as well, but he was busy apparently. And then Yamaguchi put the phone down and he goes, "Oh, he's talking rubbish, mate. He's not busy." But we're going to try to get Kobayashi out because, mate, he is the most comical person you've ever met in your life. Hilarious. He just drinks himself into sort of like a coma in the corner, sitting on the reed mats, you know.
That'll be me.
Yeah, he's good.
Sounds like you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
I'm there to work, man, not party. That's the thing.
Yeah, working hours.
How much work does Ryan put in, Lee? I could imagine it's a lot.
Dude, listen, I'm not pulling a piss, right? Proper grafts, mate. Right? Okay, so don't get me wrong, I graft as well, mate. Trying to put a YouTube video every day is hard work, right? Because I haven't got a lot of time to do it. So what I do is we wake up at like at 6 o'clock, have a shower, go for breakfast, come back. It depends which farm we're going in. Normally, Sushi picks us up about 7:30. Boom, first farm. It might be 40. Well, yesterday it was 40 minutes away, right? First farm, negotiating. Yeah, I'm filming, trying to learn as well, and Ryan selected and all that kind of stuff. We might be in that farm for 2 hours, maybe something like that. Boom, straight back in the car. I'm starting to edit in the car so I can get it all edited, that little section, right? And then we're into the next farm and we're doing what we're going to do. Back in the, I'm editing again, and like Ryan's there, but Ryan's also, he's buying, but he's also advertising at the same time. You know, this is business. So he's buying a box of things and then he's got loads of fingers in pies, spreading it all out and trying to get those turning over so he can get more funds. Because, you know what I mean? Like, money is not bottomless, is it? Do you know what I mean?
He's got sales going on back
spends, you know, that's how it is.
He's also still got sales going on back in the UK. And
he's also got sales in the UK, yeah. So you've got Kevin's missus is now working exclusively in the background in the UK, going for it. Kev's out here helping Ryan. I think Kev's in here for a week and then he's going back. But it's blown Kev's mind, because he's been in the hobby for so long and a dealer for so long. This is the first time he's actually come out, and he is absolutely blown away. It's mad. It's actually really funny
because for years, hasn't he? Years and years.
Yeah, Kev's been doing it for so much longer than me, and he knows so much more about koi than me. But it's funny because over here, I feel like I'm one step ahead of him because this is my third time. Do you know what I mean? Because it's truly a mad experience. You know what I mean? And it's it's really comforting. The first time is crazy, and it's just like a blur. The second time, you can relax and sort of like think about things a bit more. And now the third time, I feel really comfortable over here. Everything's smooth. You wake up, you go and do your thing, it's good. It's really good.
Do you think you'll continue to do it, Lee? Do you think you'll continue to do it year in, year out? You've had it now, you're hooked.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Like obviously people do fall out of love with things. At one point I loved my ex-wife. But then you fall out of love with something, don't you? And wives and hobbies are quite similar, I guess, these days. They're fast-lived, which is a shame, But anyway, but yeah, I do love it. I do love it. For me, I don't know. It's an amazing hobby. I love it. And every year I set myself a small goal. Do you know what I mean? The first year was learn how to really keep koi. I didn't really have a goal then, but I realized looking back now, year one was trying to learn how to make a pond and keep them alive. Do you know what I mean? Year two was just sort of like cutting my teeth in the koi shows, which was fun.
Have the pond.
Yeah. Cutting my teeth in the koi shows, which was fun. Last year was actually trying to advance a little bit to get some more serious awards, which was really fun. This year coming again now, I've got a few goals, but I like to keep them to myself in case they don't,
I
fold out.
downloaded the weather for Nagioka.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I travel over on Tuesday, I land on the Wednesday. It's going to be 16 degrees. Thursday 17 degrees, Friday 8 degrees, Saturday 14, and Sunday 17.
That's not too bad then, really, is it? That what's what you
got no snow. I bought loads of cold weather gear because I've seen the snow.
Yeah.
You're going over looking like an
Eskimo.
Wrapped up, hold on, big coat.
What's it like up in the mountains, Lee? Is it still full of snow?
There's still snow up the mountains, yeah. But it's crazy because this time last year, mate, it was Gibbersville. It was freezing. There was like
snow, wasn't it?
Huge snow. This year, all I'm wearing around is a t-shirt, a hoodie, and a gilet, and that's it. That's it. Like that's enough.
You see, I'm wondering how that's going to affect the new season coming in if they haven't had such a big dump of snow.
Well, this is we've talked about this because last year in Niigata, Anargia, they had a drought, so they found it really difficult because obviously the mud ponds are real high, but some of the mud ponds are slowly drained out and they go down and down, and they actually feed some of the rice fields and all that kind of stuff. And it's a happy medium, like how much water do you keep in the mud ponds, and how much water do you feed to the rice pod? Do you know what I mean? It's like hard. Now,
there's people that they actually monitor how to do that, don't they? It's
exactly.
It's like someone's employed to do it.
And then this winter, me and Ryan and Kevin was talking, saying there's not a lot of snow this year, so that's there's enough snow to fill up all the mud ponds and stuff. But is that drought gonna stay, and that will have a massive knock on then to the koi? Yeah.
Well, will it mean that they might get some more size in them because they're not going to have to heat the water as expensively, and they can get more growth out of them?
I don't know. I think the mud ponds get too hot over there like that. Oh. I'm not quite sure what the temperature of the ponds get to, the mud ponds. But when I was there at the end of October, which is kind of when it's really cooling off, I can't imagine how hot it would be there in like June or July or August. But mate, those mud ponds were pretty warm then. I would have said in October they're probably optimal at about 22, 23. So in the really hotter months, I reckon they'd probably be getting up to about 30. I reckon easy.
Yeah.
Which is not much. I think that's too hot, isn't it, for the development for everything?
Yeah, well, they need the depth of the water as well, don't they?
Well, they obviously they've got the column of water as well, yeah. But you see it when you walk around in the summer. The koi do love to bask in the sun, mate. You just see them cruising, mate. They're loving life, you know. So not that you can see the koi when they're really deep, but like all the koi I've witnessed, which is probably the only ones I could see, just loving life on the surface, mate. You know.
Yeah.
Mm.
I was surprised. Sorry, go on, Crafter. Now we're doing it again.
I mean, it is going to be interesting, bearing in mind they lost growth this year through the drought because they were struggling to work out the percentages of the feeds against what the water temperatures and that were doing over there. How long will they be able to keep them ponds maintained with water if they've not had the dump of snow? You know, it's questions I've got stacking up that I'll probably be asking breeders and stuff, you know, for my own knowledge, because it's a new experience for me when I go over as well. You know, with the added pressure of buying fish for a shop, which, you know, isn't nice. I ain't gonna lie. It takes the excitement out of it a little bit.
It's do you know what, right? I don't envy you, Crafty, when you come over here. And I'll tell you why, and you probably haven't even thought of this. But I don't want to make you nervous. But I don't think you're someone that's going to get nervous anyway because of your military history and stuff. But you know, like when you're selecting fish, you know, and let's just say like you the breeder pulls the fish in, and yeah, okay, crack on, and you're there and you're netting fish. Because he obviously he'll scoop a net up, put it on top of a bowl, and then you'll select what you want, and then what's in there you go, okay, and they put them back, and you've seen it on my videos, right? But I think the selection process in front of the breeder, because you're on a time limit and you're selecting his fish in front of him, you're like, oh my God, do I look like a twat here or something? Do you know what I mean? Because he knows what to look for. But like, this is what I've seen. I haven't really seen that part of people selecting wrong because I always watch Ryan do it. And obviously the breeders then will look at the bowl at the end and they'll be sucking on their little vape or the e-cigarette looking, especially Odecan, and he'll look at what's in the bowl and he'll look at Ryan, he'll go, and just a smile and walk away because he knows, well, yeah, you've just taken the best 20 fish out of that 200 pieces. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, because you can't bluff him. He's really good, Ryan is, you know. And yeah, I personally would find it, you know, I would just be like that. Oh no, this is going to be really difficult. Like, you know, you would feel the pressure. It's like a little GCSE exam in front of your teacher, you know, like, oh no.
I mean, what I will say is that Ryan's market and my market are not the same.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not going to buy for me. I'm going to go and buy for the customers that I know in my shop. I've got to buy a wider range of fish than what Ryan does. I've got to go from super affordable to what I would class as unaffordable as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a shop. I've got a good shopping list to go for as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to be one of them for me. It's going to be a learning experience. I've got some bits and bats, as Peter says. Look, we've got me little counter ready to go.
Nice. Well, you can get those for 70p over here, mate, in the equivalent of a pound shop.
I think I paid £1.20 for that. So
yeah, 100 yen, I think, is
just
70p.
double check it first. When you do one click, it only adds one on.
Oh yeah, it does.
I don't want to be going up in fives or out there. You're a big bill.
I might mispress it now and then.
Top Jaggers asked, Lee and Crafty, do you visit Ufuchi farm? Only because I have a couple and they are so good for a more of a budget koi.
Yeah, do you know what? Okay, can you remember I said we went to a farm yesterday that I wasn't sure of, and Ryan hasn't been there for about 7 years, and it sounds like it's got F-U-C-K in it. I'm absolutely sure that was the farm we were at yesterday. Have a look at the video, and you might recognize it. I'm not quite sure. Some of the names are really similar. And also, you know, like when Ryan goes, oh, we're going to Saito Koi Farm, there's like 4 Saitos in Nagata. So it's like, you know, you're like, well, which one, you know? But it is. There's so many farms. It's mind blowing, and people only know the main ones. Do you know what I mean? But there is loads of others. You know,
Well,
like
you only have to see the brown book, the Bible,
oh, it's a joke.
to actually realise how many koi farms there are. There is
Exactly.
shitloads.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
that little book, although it's like a yellow pages of koi breeders, that's the best way of putting it. It actually tells you how much water that establishment owns.
It's good.
And the
Yeah.
likes of Dionysia's got 500,000 hectares or something.
Wow.
It's
impressive.
It's fucked up.
Sweet Acre Koi Farm said Leo's the kind of person like that just can't get enough of. He's so upbeat, positive and hilarious. There you go, mate. Free the nip.
Oh,
Hey.
oh, thanks, mate. That's nice of you to say that. That's nice of you to say that. So I had the honour for having a number 2 in Shinoda's house the other day.
I'll see that on the video.
I had to put that on my video. Who else
he
has
have
had a dump in
toilet paper?
Shinoda's?
You want to tick off your bucket list?
It is.
Yeah.
And mate, what I didn't put that day, we took Kevin down to see the bull, right? And me and the bull have seen each other so many times now. We're getting quite friendly, right? No, it's terrifying. This bull is, mate. Crafty, you're not ready for the aggression of these bulls. There's no love in these bulls at all, right?
Bulls, mate. I remember being in Canada and watching them fucking ride it. Thanks, Kev.
Oh, mate,
Ride
unbelievable.
in Calgary, those fucking huge, great things.
Mate,
like
they're massive.
They're huge.
So is that their kind of hobby thing?
Right, let me explain to you, right? Let me explain to you, right? These guys, there's 2 different kind of breeders. There's breeders that love it, right? So you got like Yamaguchi loves it. He's young, so he loves it, right? You've also got Kansuke, old fella, but loves it. Do you know what I mean? And there's another Saito we went to. I think it might be in Gia, one of the Saito farms, and he loves it. And all they do, that's their passion. Their business is selling koi and breeding koi, and it's also their passion, and they love it, right? Then you've got other farms like Shinoda, Sakazumi, and other farms, right? That obviously they love it because that's how they make money, but it's their money making thing. But their real passion is bullfighting. Mate, bullfighting in the mountains is really big. It's like rugby to Wales. Do you know what I mean? It's like bonkers. It's like, it's like stock car racing in Nashville. It's what they do. And some of the farms literally just sell fish so they can and they enjoy bullfighting then. Do you know what I mean? It's their thing. Like,
so the fish side of it is the 9-to-5 business, but the passion and their hobby is this bullfighting.
Yeah. And then you got the other flip scale of it then. You got Marihiro Koi Farm, right? The one with the famous round pond, right? Yeah. That dude has got thousands of mud ponds, right? He harvests in the snow. In the summer, he harvests constantly, right? He works 7 days a week. He doesn't have a day off. He gives his missus a day off, right? And his daughter a day off, and then they're back in work then. We were talking about him the other day in the car at Sushi, and me and Ryan Kev, and we were like that. The dude must be so wealthy. He must have so much money, but only spends it on fags. That's it. The only thing he enjoys in life is fags. He's never not got one in his mouth.
I don't think
I'd like to work for him, Shinoda. But if you look at Shinoda's house, right? So, okay, next time we go to Shinoda, we'll do the farm inside, and then I'll show you the size of the house, mate. These koi farm owners' houses are pretty impressive. Like, they are mansions. They're big. They're all poured concrete, so they're earthquake proof. But like, they're big places. Like,
So what is it with there's a question there from Sweet Acre Koi Farm as well, but same question. What is it? The bullfighting? Are they fighting bulls against bulls, or are they doing the old red flag with the old? Toto!
No. Yeah. So what it is? It's not really as inhumane as you think. It's not like the bulls don't get hurt. And let's put it this way, right? These bulls.
Is it like bulls rutting up against each other? Kind of thing?
Yeah. So what it is that you've got all these little Japanese men. All these Japanese men in this like pit, in this like sand arena, right? And they're tiny, right, compared to these bulls. And they don't give a shit. They're mad, right? And they put the bulls heads together, and the bull's just it's
Push
sumo
back and
wrestling
forth.
with
So
bulls.
it's kind of it's facing off of each other, showing who's the strongest bull, whichever
the
one
bulls
tops
just
that
push.
wins.
They don't bang heads. They put their heads together really delicately, and then they're there for about 10 minutes, just pushing back and forth. And I can tell you now,
kind of
if
thing.
I was a bull, I'd love it. You know what I mean? Because it's what a bull would want to do. If a
That's
bull
what we
could
do
speak,
naturally, isn't it?
yeah, if a bull could speak and say, "Pal, what do you want to do? Sit in a lovely house, eat carrots, a couple of times a year, have a wrestle." That's what they want to do. You know, and they do get looked after. Yes, they're tied up for probably long periods, but I don't know what else is a bull going to do. It's, do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, I
Wander
wouldn't have
around in
said
the
that.
field.
Yeah, you know, stand in a field or stand in a lovely barn with carrots, and the koi soldier every now and again come to say hello.
Carrots. Oh dear.
But yeah, going back to it, I grabbed the horns on Shinoda's bull, right? And it's so aggressive, mate. It was trying to get me off. And you could feel, I'm 12 stone on the button, right? And I put all my weight on his horns, and it would just like, move me around. And mate, you could see that my 12 stone didn't make one little bit on the movement of the cow. Do you know what I mean? They're so powerful. And I was like that. You know, they're in with these big oak beams, you know what I mean? And they're really thick, heavy-duty oak beams, right? And they when you go in, mate, they smash these oak beams because they're super aggressive. It's unbelievable, right? Not surprising when you see the size of... anyway, and they... mate, if one of those could just crush you against the wall, mate,
I saw a
your
shot.
guts would come out of your ass, mate, I'm telling you. You'd have no chance.
I saw a shot on YouTube. It was only about 2 or 3 days ago, just flicking through them. And these bulls, and it looked like a snapped off oak tree, but it was about 2 meters in ground. And there's no exaggeration. You wouldn't be able to put your arms around it and touch your hands.
Yeah.
And it ragged it out of the ground with its horns like it were no. Just jabbed him in, give it a couple of nudges, and just clean lifted it up on its head. God damn, man, that's a beast and a half.
Well, mate, you know, that saying, as strong as a bull, stuck around for quite a while for a reason, isn't it?
Behind you, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy. You wouldn't have thought that, would you? Would you? No, I suppose. Each and everybody to their own little thing, isn't it? That's what makes the world go around, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That nice, Crafty? What are you on? What you got?
What is it?
Oh, you were saying anyway that you don't think Crafty's the kind of person that stresses or gets worked up or whatever. He had a full head of hair last month.
No, I wouldn't have said he was, mate. He's an ex-tank commander, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to be quite cool, mate. You know, like obviously I'm ex-military as well, and when you're in a combat environment, you know what I mean. I've seen plenty of combat, and I've been in plenty of battles, and you can tell the panickers from the non-panickers. You know, like when something happens with me, time actually does slow down, and I actually become calmer in chaos, if that makes sense. And no one knows that will happen. No one knows how you will react in a situation like that unless you're in that. And for me, I know even if something happens on the outside world. So now let's just say, I don't know. Let's just say the phone picks up and a loved one's had a car accident. Instantly, I become calm, and my cognitive, like reasoning, becomes a lot stronger. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
As soon as something's happened, and you know, some people would panic. I get like 2 minutes for every 1 minute in real time. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure Crafty is the same. You know what I mean, Crafty, don't you?
Yeah, we used to have a saying, like in my regiment, like when the shit hit the fan, you took what's known as a Panama moment. So if you remember back in the days where it was like, so all the commanders used to carry a packet of Panama in their top left pocket. So when the shit hit the fan, whether you smoked or not, you pulled the Panama out, you lit it up, and then you was like, right, plan of action, what do we do? Right, and it just stops you from reacting in the wrong way. So yeah, I'm certainly with Lee on that.
I can remember when I was in training for the parachute regiment, it was quite advanced into the training, and we were doing a talk through of how to attack a position. Do you know what I mean? So and the corporal that was the staff member that was teaching us this was a guy called Gibbo, right? I'm not going to say his real name, right? But he was a private soldier in the Falkland Islands, right? Yeah, he was a private soldier in the Falkland Islands, right? And when we were doing this, so obviously how it works is, let's just pretend that you're in your patrol, you're walking across open ground, and you start coming under enemy fire from maybe 500 meters away. First thing you do is go to ground, find some cover, try to find where it's coming from, return fire, and try to win the firefight then. And then what you do then is your team breaks in half, and some of you stay there to suppress the enemy, and the rest sort of pulls back into dead ground and sort of like uses dead ground left, right, or sometimes there's none, you go straight through the middle, right? But normally you take the flanking option and you attack them from a 45 degree when the other guys are still suppressing their fire, right? So he was saying, this is not a rush. Obviously, it's a rush to return fire and try to win the firefight when you're in the baseline. So like all the soldiers, they're trying to hammer this one position. And then when you've got control of the situation, the commander will take his 4 to 8 people and do that flanking maneuver. Now, there was times in the Falklands where you're going, you don't rush. We get into dead ground and we have a Panama moment and we just sit down, sometimes for a couple of minutes, and just work things out, and everyone calms down. Make sure your weapon's done. Make sure you're loaded. Make sure your magazines, all these stupid little things that could go wrong, you eliminate. And then you just move up slowly. There's no rush. Do you know what I mean? Once there's never a rush in war unless you have to rush, you'll rush. And if there's time to just chill,
like a dynamic risk assessment, so you can work out what you're going to do, make a good plan, put your plan into motion, and up.
Then it goes to, it don't matter how much training you do. The training helps, but like anything, you can't train for everything. So
when
the shit does hit the fan and bullets are bouncing around you, you've got to come up with a plan to either.
When you're on a two-way range, mate, you've got to think properly. But going back to turning 2 minutes into 1, I think that's what Ryan does when he looks at a pond of Tozai. I think they just automatically, from going like chaotic, they just go a bit slower so you can see what's going on. Because when you're looking at these ponds, mate, you're like, what? It's like mad.
They're all flashing and dashing around in it.
Oh, dude,
so a question for both of you then. As both of you has been military related, and a lot of people get into koi for whatever reason. Some people just for, a hobby. Some other people are, it's that time, it's that peace, it's that tranquility, it's that relaxing. Have you found that both keeping koi has helped with? I'm not saying you guys. It has done for me. I'm guessing it has, or will have done for yourselves. Helped you, find a nice smooth.
I think that anyone that steps up next to a pond, irrespective of where you are, who you are, what your trade is, how old you are,
it mellows you, doesn't it?
Truly interested, you zone out. You just boom straight in there, and that's the association. It stops you thinking from everything, but what's in the pond. Similar to riding a motorbike. When you're riding a motorbike, all you think
you just got that gone.
And it's the same. It's the same when you're around a koi pond. For me, I mean, just watching customers, they'll stand there. Ones that are really interested, not browsers, but people that are interested, stand there for a good 40 minutes just staring into a pond. I mean, it's the same for you, Leah.
Well, I didn't get into it because of like all the chaos from my previous career. So my grandfather kept koi in the 80s in Pembrokeshire, and I can always remember seeing those. And obviously that passed on to my dad. And I used to come back from when I was in the army and dig ponds for him. I think I dug him about a 4,000 gallon pond once. My mum was absolutely, so pissed off, mate, honestly, right? So for me, it's been something that the seed was planted with my granddad, and then it was firmly rooted then with my dad. And I've always promised myself that I was going to start doing koi when I could afford to do it, and I had a house of my own and all that kind of stuff. So when I first left the military, I did have a house of my own with my ex-wife, but I was so busy setting up the roots and the bones of my business that I didn't have any time to do that, because it is quite a time-consuming thing. So obviously then when I've got my new house now, the business runs itself pretty much. It's like the little tattoo shop I've got. I've got some great guys working there. I go in and it's like it's still flat out, but because I've been doing it for so long, it feels easier. Do you know what I mean? So I've got a lot of time to do stuff on my own. But going towards Crafty's thing and I don't think I keep koi to watch them to relax, because I was just thinking of it then. Don't get me wrong, obviously I love looking at koi, and there is times where I will sit on my drum with a glass of wine and look down at them and just love them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's far and few between. For me, the koi, right, if this is hard to explain now, but if I could not see my pond every single day, I'd love it. I'd love to go and see my pond for an hour every month, because for me, the enjoyment of my pond.
Yeah, because you'd see the development that changed.
The development of the koi is doing everything I can to get that koi pinnacly.
You like the results,
the growth, the volume, the
See it
condition.
daily,
So,
all day.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
see it
so
as much,
if I could flick through once a month, do you know what I mean? So sometimes on purpose, I don't even look at the pond for a couple of weeks. I'll keep an eye on the pH and stuff like that, but I won't look at it.
Look,
and then I'll study the fish and I
I
go,
get what you
oh, they've really jumped forward, you know?
Yeah. So for you, ideal thing would be time travel, so you can wait forward, have a look, wait, come back.
Yeah, literally. But don't get me wrong, it's not that I don't love watching them. I
No,
do,
no,
because in the summer,
I know what you mean.
I'll sit and watch them, but I don't think it calms me down or anything. I just love the
A lot of
progression. I
people
love
do that, don't they? From that side of thing, military side of thing, get into something like that to
They do, most of them do, yeah.
alter the mindset in a sense.
I must admit,
yeah.
I like it when I've been away for a week and I come back.
Yeah,
I
you
can
said
see
this before,
a huge
haven't you?
difference in the fish.
Yeah,
But yeah, looking at them day in, day out, it never seems to change. You need
Yeah.
that break away.
Yeah,
to-
you
to-
do, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's
having
mad
loads at the
because-
side of me growing in the tank,
Yeah.
I can see they've grown, but you don't see them grow because it's constant and it's always there. And you think, like, I suppose it's the same thing.
tank, and I keep looking at them and I think, I know they've grown, but I can't physically see that they've grown.
Yeah. But they are.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
over here,
oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, but you just don't notice it because you're looking at
Yeah.
them constantly. Yes, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
because it's mad, because like we're over here now and we're like looking at Nisai today and for boxes for Ryan, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, last year the Nisai, I was like, oh, they're impressive. This year I'm like, no, then they're not so impressive for me now, because some of my fish now are 62 cm, which is not massive on the grand scale of things, but I've had to order a new measuring, like a stainless steel a metal measuring thing to take home. So it's mad because they are growing. You just can't see them when you're looking at them every day.
Yeah.
It is
That's the
bonkers.
shock when you do a measure up and you realise just because when you see 20 fish at 60 cm together that have all put on size other than my pond, but when you see it, when you see them all put on that kind of size collectively, you don't notice the difference until you look back at your figures that you've had from a measure up 6 months before or 12 months before, and then you think, oh damn, that fish really has grown. That's put on 25, 30 cm.
That happens in the shop though as well, Gaz.
Yeah.
Because I see them every day. Looking
Yeah,
at the beginning of the
blinded.
season and the end of the season, the ones that have not sold, man, it's amazing the size they've put on.
Yeah.
You just really don't realise it because you see them every day. Every day.
Yeah.
Question for you, Lee, quick.
Yeah.
What type of plug do they have in Japan, mate? Is it like 2 flat pins?
What kind of what? Sorry. Oh, plug. I thought you said what kind of blood do they have?
Travel plug.
Yeah, look, I've got a spare one if you want one.
Is it like that one?
Oh, it's like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
see it?
Yeah, that's right. I was just double checking, making sure I had the right.
Jigs,
You can pick them up at the airport, mate. They're a £5.
Jigs from Mountain View Koi Pond says, move your pond to mine then, Lee, and pop in once a month for a brew. That's a belting idea. Shift it to mine as well. Yeah, you can have a little grow on here instead.
I tell you what, though, I am looking forward to do my quarantine, my grow on pond when I get back now to finishing that. I am quite buzzing for that.
Yeah.
Crafty, there's a question there for you. Top Jagger says, Crafty, you working on Saturday? Got a job at Heathrow on Saturday. Was thinking of popping in on the way back to see if you had anything special. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I'm in.
Then he's put underneath it, I'd asked Daz, seeing as he's in Nottingham, but I've never had an invite, mate.
Ooh.
Seriously, bud. I think we're down there next weekend, and I'm not just offering this out because I would like to offer out this, and we said it before, haven't we, Daz?
Yeah.
If anybody wants to come down, ping me an email. Come down, have a natter, have a chat, have a brew. Come and have a gander out farm and mess about with us for a bit. Anybody's welcome. Obviously, we don't want 500 people turning up or unannounced, but yeah. So
we can always accommodate.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? We're an open book, mate. If you ever want to drop me an email, your details are on system, same thing.
Top
or
Chagger
Facebook group, Top Chagger. Drop us a message, mate, and we'll sort some out if you want to come down and have a look. Meet more different people.
If I'm not in the front of the shop, just speak to the guys to come and grab me out the back, because I'll probably be in the office, to be honest.
It'll be right back at Ponds, mate, having a look at his crazy golf course. So it'll be picking up his drone out of it.
Can I send you a little video?
Yeah.
You love it. What would you prefer, on Messenger or WhatsApp?
Send it on Messenger. Sort some out, Dave, 100%, mate.
Me, that's gone.
How is Yarrawaki doing, Gaz? Is he still maintaining a centimetre a week, or do you think it's slowed down a bit?
It's slowed down a little bit, but because I've been back at work, haven't I? So I've not been here as much to feed it, but it's still doing good, mate. Still doing. Look at
Gaz,
it.
have you got me on Messenger?
Have I? Yes.
Do me a favour, if you can now, ping me across anything, a kiss or something, and I'll send you the video of the Kawaku I've got from Odakan if you want.
Sweet.
You can put the video up then if you want. We work it out.
Fucking Tafaguchi.
I've just twigged that one, yeah.
Tell me when you've dropped me a little kiss and I'll send one across a video. Oh, there we go. I've got it.
There you go. No. Ooh. Wait 1 second, guys, and I'll put this on the old. We just got a bit too excited because we just sent him a text message with literally 2 kisses on it, so he'll be back shortly.
I'm just going to feed me fish. They're looking a bit ravenous.
Look at that, man. Plane crashing a lot. Smoke coming out of it.
Mate,
That's cool.
that must have just crashed. It's smoking.
it just piled in, mate, so we thought we'd keep it.
It does look good, yeah.
That's the koi pond just in front of it, that wall.
Yeah.
But yeah. We're expecting it to be handed over mid-Feb while I'm in Japan.
Ooh.
Sweet.
Oh, so it's nearly done then.
It'll be open to the public straight away because we've still got things to do.
Do we get a VIP event?
You will.
Oh, Gaz, road trip. Oh,
That would be funny, actually, to have a VIP event. That would be good.
We're doing a YouTubers event. So anyone associated to YouTube will be invited down. Obviously, it'll be great for the likes of Wolf as well, Lee. So,
yeah.
Sorry. Oh, God, man. I hate when people make me laugh when I've just had a vape. Crafty with his vape behind the wall.
we've also had audio, an audio story made, different parts of the golf course, and it is epic, man. It sounds the nuts. Got proper like radio footage and stuff being played as you go around. Nice. Really, really cool.
Is that the little sneaky one that you got?
Yeah, from Odakan. I think it is. I just tried to pick it from a thumbnail, so I think it's that one. Is it a 4-step?
What you sent me, Lee?
4-step. Now then, Maritime Kahaku.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
That's a beast, isn't it, mate?
That's a
Coming
special
to the
little fish, that
GKP
is.
when he's done with it. He'll fall out with it in 12 months anyway. So
Yeah.
Bibs.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
Yeah, it is nice.
special little fish, that. So,
That's nice.
yeah,
that.
so
Yeah.
by the time I've worked out, by the time I get that back out of QT and get it straight into 24 degrees on the growth and the colour, I should be able to get that to about 33 cm ready for the national.
You're not doing Azakari on that?
No, I'm taking that back.
Wow.
That's
'Cause
nice.
I
I like the dorsal pure white too. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm buying one or two just to be in the run-ins, hopefully for baby champion. I fancy having a little go for that again. Obviously, it depends what comes on the day, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It is difficult, but that's the challenge. It's a bit of a competition for myself to see if I can do
Looks
well
like
in that
it's got a
category.
shovel of a head, mate.
Yeah, it does,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
so that's Denichi Toyota, that is.
Shame it's only
Yeah.
got one eye.
And one peck fin.
And no anal fin.
That's why it's swimming round in circles. Yeah,
That's
cool
nice.
fish though, isn't it?
Very
Yeah,
nice.
It looks like it's got a real big head, man. That I don't know
Yeah.
if it's the colour, but yeah, it looks like it's going to.
Oh, it's a good fish, like, even Odacan was like that.
What does Mr. Tate think to that one?
Oh, I don't know. Is he watching us? I don't know.
Yeah, well, he was in the comments earlier. I'm just wondering what you think.
Ah, right. He's gonna go. Aye, it's a pretty fish, like, man.
Yeah. Pretty big.
By the way, guys, congratulations, dude.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
well
much.
done, mate.
Oh, thank you for the I did jump in for a quick, jump in
you're
and a quick hello. But thanks very
totally
much for the mention as well, guys. Appreciate it.
No,
That's
well,
nice,
I
Lee.
because I'd
Yeah,
like
cheers, mate.
arranged with Al to come on, for Lee to come on, and then I was like, no one's on, and I was like, what do you think? And then I seen
It was a last minute thing, kind of thing. It was a case of everything is going ahead, I think, but it was is baby coming? Is it coming? And then, as babies often do, baby's here, but it's the first. You don't want to. I mean, I don't know. You guys will remember it obviously as well, but you just want that. You just want that bit of time, don't you? You, baby, your partner, and you get everybody coming. Everybody's all in there. So we thought we'd just see what they said, see what we could do. If we could go down, we would, but we wouldn't ask if we could go down. If it were off, we would have gone. But then give them that little bit of quality time together. But we've been down and seen her. She come up with a day as well.
got to show that support either way, mate.
That's it, mate. Yeah, but I wanted them to know that we were super proud of them both, and then we just sat at home, had a nice couple of little drinks and a bit of a celebration. My first little granddaughter, brilliant.
That's lovely.
What's she called?
Isla Marie Hoyle, obviously.
Nice.
Yeah,
Why
a little
not?
smasher.
Nice.
That's nice fish, that Lee.
Yes. Very
He's
nice.
probably trying to send you another one. He's got a few bags.
Well, Mr. Tate, if you are still watching, what did you think to that? If you didn't let us know in the comments afterwards, bud, that would be greatly appreciated. That looks a nice little fish, that. I'm saying little fish, it's not that small, is it, really?
No.
Decent sized toes like that.
Yeah. I know Lee was saying, "Oh, it's about this big." I was expecting it to still be that big.
That's nice as well. Yeah, did you think? I was thinking more like that, he does as well. I got this nice little fish. It's only 30 cm. That's nice as well.
Pretty sure it's that one. So that's saying as Azakari. It's that one is 20. I think it's 21 cm. And Yamaguchi said by the time it goes into the mud ponds, because it'll be kept in the concrete ponds now until it goes into the mud ponds, he reckons it'll get to 30 in there, and then it'll be 50 when it comes out in the mud ponds in October. The same as the Kawako I had there from last year, Kraft?
That was a bloody nice. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I ain't seen
Yeah,
it.
I'm looking forward to getting that off Ryan now. So, because we've got a Tamasaba event up in Sid Cup. Is that
That's
mine?
my fish up
No,
there.
that's not mine. That's not mine. Cut
That's
that one
mine.
out.
No, this one's crafted.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Just got it in
Look at
before
that.
you. There's one. I put
I
this
should
one
put
on.
these on first, man.
That's nice.
It's nice. Nice
So
body.
I've got that. I bought that from Narita.
That is nice. That
Mm,
beginner on that's good, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Lee likes a Goshki. Rate it, Lee. What do you reckon?
Well, it's not obviously it's good. It needs time, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? But
What's
It's
in
coming,
the
though,
UK
isn't it?
waters, mate?
well, obviously with Asumi needs to come up, obviously. Do you know what I mean? But like, yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Where's it from? Minima.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got that Minamagoshi. They're class, aren't they?
Yeah,
I quite
well,
like it. It's nice. It's just a nice like 4-step. I like the small Dan on the back by the Odame. That's some people would say that's a demerit, but I think that's quite nice.
I think it adds balance personally.
Yeah, I think
This.
it's got a nice balance. Yeah, I like that there.
Yeah, just brings it through, just like a finishing
Yeah.
full stop.
And you can see there it's got the good trademark of the Sumi development coming from the tail first.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can see it coming in, can't you? Coming up through the body.
Yeah.
What is that? Nisai?
Nisai, yeah, 42.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's
I'm looking
lovely.
forward to getting that. I should get that at the end of Feb.
Oh, and is that another one?
No, that was ages ago. It's just a picture of it, mate.
Nice. Oh. Quite appreciation without the public. Hope you're enjoying these instead. Something a little different, isn't it? Oh, this is the one.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one from Yamaguchi.
It's nice as well.
Not a very good video. I think that was just me doing it from a distance, but they're a bit closer.
Mate, yeah, that's
Bit
the best
different.
fish to keep.
Bit of a funky pattern on it.
Yeah, I like the pattern.
Totally different.
Is that your style, Lee?
Side of the head.
Yeah, it's my style, innit? I like something funky like that.
Your style has developed from the 2 3-step Kahaku to something a little bit more quirky and difficult, actually.
I think
the
the second Dan, where you can see it's sort of like the second Dan looks like 3 blodges. I've got a funny feeling that will separate with a bit of size. So I think ultimately, then instead of having a 3 Dan,
just here,
probably have a 5 Dan. I would say, which will enhance the fish's pattern a bit more. I think. But that, like I said, he gave it to me really cheap. To be honest, obviously I think it would have been a lot more expensive if I hadn't given him a hat and a t-shirt.
That clinched it.
Yeah,
but yeah, it'd be cool.
Good fish, brother.
Well, yeah, just a little stocking filler. To be honest, when I was in Yamaguchi, like the fish I really liked were outrageously priced. We're talking 4 or 5 grand. That was Tozai. And I was like, no, I can't do that. So I went through his high grade stuff to pick. And I found that a little diamond in the rough. So that will do me. And I think I paid a little bit of an Azakari fee on it, but well worth it, To transform a fish from 21 cm to an October 50, you know what I mean? You're going to give him 100 quid, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Azakari fee is well worth it. And to be honest, mate, Yamaguchi's really, we didn't talk about it, about the guarantee or anything. I'm not worried about if it's female or male, but the guarantee, whether it comes out of the mud pond or not, that wasn't talked about. But I know he's such a gentleman that if that did happen and it didn't come out, I know he'd probably give me credit or probably, sort me out with something else.
I mean,
But that's the kind of character he is. He's a gentleman to deal with. Ryan really rates Yamaguchi for his, behind the scenes paperwork and efficiency.
I've got 3 fish Azakari this year ready.
Well, he's so efficient that when Ryuki wants to send stuff down, when he buys stuff from up north and he wants to send it down, Yamaguchi's the one that packs everything to get all his fish down. Do you know what I mean? So you got to have some trust in someone to do that, don't you?
Yeah,
definitely. Well,
I've got a few fish Dazakari this year.
Mine's for the shop, mate. It's like not mine. I can't afford it personally. But what I was about to say is the fish that the shop has bought and kept for Azakari. It's an investment at the same time a huge risk, because if them fish don't come out, the boss won't know how much I've paid for them. But if those 3 fish don't come out, the shop would lose in value probably 15 grand. RRP.
It is a big risk, because like I said, I done a couple of the mud pond events with Ricky and stuff like that, and my first 4 Taniguchi fish come out mega. Two NND fish came out mega. Do you know what I mean? So I had like a run of about like 5 or 6 fish that came out absolutely perfect, and then I went to Tucanos and yeah, it had died. So you get you got to take the good with the bad, don't you? So on the whole of it though, do you know what I mean? You've got to be kind of unlucky for something not to come out, but it does happen.
I mean, but it might come out looking like a bag of shit as well.
Oh, maybe, yeah, but it's
And that's happened before, where
yeah.
colours fell off the fish, and you get a fish that does likes a lot of. It happens.
Yeah.
Shuramuji, I'm on about.
Shiramujis. Yes. You see, that's where for Daz and myself, obviously, because we both appreciate him producing as many as Daz has in the past.
I've got 2. That's it.
Well, the thing is, though, Daz, weren't there? Well, a lot of them that we fought were. Are they? The colours come back up on them. You're like,
yeah.
I mean, how many of them did we call? That's nice as well. I'll put this one up so you can have a. This is a bit of a. Look at that. Ginrin Tancho.
Yeah, it is nice.
Where's
That
from?
is something else.
Perfect.
It's sold anyway. I've already sold it, but
That's
I'm
nice,
surprised.
I've got
Where's that
5
from, Kraft?
long-in rim ones. I'll tell you, mate. I've
That
got so
looks-
much coming in that I don't remember.
Drawn on, doesn't it? It's that good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Is it-
there was a lot of guff on Facebook coming over from certain individuals saying, "Oh, it's cut." They're not cut. They are not cut at all. So, irrespective of what people say, they're not.
To be honest, I'm not even looking at the spot. I'm looking at the body, mate, and the quality of it. It's amazing.
Body is amazing, mate.
Body's what size is that, Crafty? It's quite
Got
small. As
shoulders
well,
on
isn't
it
it?
already.
Yeah.
38. Lee.
Oh, it's 38. Okay, yes, it's a nice fish though.
It's a good pecs and all, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like real. I mean, we've got others available online. The pictures are on my Facebook site of other tancho that I've got coming in, and they're all as good quality. To be fair, guys,
That's stunning.
they're not Ginrin though. That had about 10 show people text me within 10 minutes of it going on Facebook.
Yeah.
Now,
I can see why.
even in years to come, let's say 10, 15 years down the line, if that Tancho spot were to drop off, that'd be one hell of a Shuramuji, wouldn't it?
For the show scene, though, I think the last thing I would buy is a tan show because, that spot it looks amazing, but that spot will always be judged for what possibly could have happened in the before it
But
got
it will
to the
also
UK.
move as well as that fish
Pardon?
grows. It will also move.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah, I've
change
seen
shape.
that. Yeah. It is
Um,
bonkers.
Cancel that play.
It's from Mariju.
This will get me band titles.
Do you know what I was going to say, Mariju?
Yeah.
Jenna, because I went there in autumn. I was harvesting with Mariju, mate. They're class people, like lovely family and stuff. They're nice, like cool. The old fella is class.
Yeah.
When I was up by Mariju in October, we seen this fucking weird animal, mate. It was like half bear, half like raccoon thing. It's got a funny name, like a kikukuru or something. No, that's a fish. Some weird name anyway. And I was like, that thing is amazing. It's like a fluffy bear kind of raccoon thing. But yeah, cool place. They've got a ski slope right by them as well. Anyway, guys, I've got to go to Starbucks.
Look at that. It was actually pitch black out that window when you joined us, mate. It's broad daylight
Yeah. Do you want to see my view, guys?
now. Yeah, go on.
Put them on big screens. Let's have a proper look.
How do I? Can I flip it around on this? No.
Yeah.
Can I? I can't work out to flip it around. Oh shit!
We all get to see
Sorry,
everything. You can do, but look at that.
Can you see the mountains?
Mountains background there.
Yeah.
And the Shinkansen train station is just there by Hotel Met, basically. And that's the lobby down there. But yeah,
I'm staying in that hotel as well, Lee.
Yeah, no, I know. But
Yeah.
anyway, I woke up to an earthquake 2 days ago. About 12 minutes past 6 in the morning. I was lying in bed, and literally the bed went boom, 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 and just stopped. And I was like, shit.
She up with
Mate, honestly, I woke up and I thought to myself, because I know your phone normally goes, the alarm goes, right? And I went to, and I was like, oh my God, is this just the first bit? Is it going to keep on going? And then went to meet Ryan then at 7. And I said, do you feel the earthquake? He goes, I thought I felt something. And then we went then down to Starbucks and, you know, Fitz Filtration, Brian and stuff. The Yanks were down there. And they were like, I said, you felt the earthquake? He goes, yeah, man, it was a good one. And I was like, yeah, I told you it was a fucking earthquake that woke me up. It was bonkers. But it didn't wake me up. I was already up, but groggy. And then that happened. And mate, it was quite brutal, to be honest. But it was, and it was, it probably doesn't even register with the Japanese, that one. But for someone who's never experienced one before, it was enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, enough to make you think.
Yeah. And do you know what the funny thing is? I was talking to the Yanks the night before. And I was saying what I'd love to happen over here. I said, oh, I'd love to, you know, do this. And I'd love to experience an earthquake when I'm not in a building. They see me the next morning. They went, your dream come true, but you're in the building, weren't you? I went, yeah. Right, okay, guys, listen, I've got to go. My day's about to start.
All the best.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you. I'll come on next Thursday as well if I'm available.
Yeah, no, nice one.
Yeah.
Tidy
Have a good
leads. All right, boys. See you later.
Take
See you
care,
soon,
mate.
Crafty. Bye, Nate.
See you
Bye.
later.
Catch
you
you
later.
later, bud. Love this. Oh, I'm just going to say, I love this bit where people fumble around on the screen to try and turn it off. How do I get out of here? There we go. Live from Japan.
Yeah.
Sweet. Some nice fish there, mate.
Awesome.
Yeah, that last one, mate, is one that's getting a bit of traction as well. That still image I sent you.
The Goshki Sanke.
A lot of people don't know they exist because they're not very common.
No, I've never heard of one before.
No. Sounds like something New Forest Guy would do, Rick.
Yeah.
He likes to mix them up, though, doesn't he?
There's a breeder called Kiki that does them, and I secured one in November, and he sent me a message. And that picture you've got, that's the image, one of the images I bought from. But the fish doesn't look like that anymore. He's managed to bring the sumi up more in the fish, and he put it into the All Japan call. He asked me if I wanted to put it into the All Japan, which I did. It didn't place, but you know, I'm not asked about that. I still wanted the fact that he rang me and said, "Look, you know, let's get it in." You know, I'm more than happy to support that. You know, he's just over here. You don't see him very often, so that is Azakari at the moment. So he thinks he can get a good 25 to 30 cm on that fish.
Big head on that bit.
Oh, it's a shovel and a half,
like a shovel, isn't it?
huge, ain't it?
Little grey nose on the end as well.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in seeing the development of that fish. I mean, looking at the body on it, it is, you know, it's got the body that's going to be
got the stanky trait, look, free there on that side, and just the one at this side.
Yeah. You know, the sumi's got loads of development.
Usual, isn't it?
But,
Yeah.
You know, I know that it gained a little bit of interest. I know that Ricky Stoddart as well mentioned that, you know, the thing is, as soon as Ricky gets behind it or behind them, I didn't buy this through Ricky. I bought this direct from the breeder, Kiki. People will start to go, oh, I want one. So, you know, it's a rare fish, but I'm keeping it in Japan for a year. It is for sale though. If you want to own an Azakari koi, you know, it's for sale. It's been selected and entered into the All Japan Koi Show as requested by the breeder. So, you know, the fact that it don't matter. It's still up there in the quality scale of his fish. You know, for him to be able to put it in. So, you know.
Now then, I've got a quick question for you, mate. With a little bit of what we're doing and what's been done, and like, you know, you're going over there. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get a little bit of some. Obviously, whatever you experience out there, mate, when you come back or whatever. But I'd like, do you have any form of contact with Evo?
Yeah, I've got, directly, yeah.
Can you hit him up? Ask him if I can get his details, obviously with his permission, mate. I'd like to have a chat about seeing about getting him on the show. And the reason why
What
is
struggle, Gaz?
I know he did.
I'll tell you why.
I've been in a bit of a chat with him, and he said around the quiet period, winter time, might be more beneficial and more suited to him. But I'd like to get that kind of what he experiences on there for people to have a sit and listen to as well.
His channel is his income, mate. So
I don't want him to come in with any spoilers or all like that, but just to give him his.
No, even to have him present, mate, he may even ask for a small.
Well, we'll see what he says. You never know. You don't know unless if you know.
100%.
It can go one way or other, can it? He can say yay or nay. Oh, either way, I won't be offended.
But I'll message him tonight after this, mate. But
nice one, bud. Appreciate it.
Problem. Right, last week I told people, Gaz. I don't know if you seen me message earlier.
I did. I did watch it back, mate. I did watch a fair bit of it back, and you got some you wanted to. There we go. Hang about. Let's get you on full. Put you on the spotlight.
Free giveaway.
Look at the size of that thing. Bloody hell. That's the kind of calendar that not only is a stunning calendar that you can make some photos out of and some prints out of and get them framed up.
They're poster size, but you know, I'd like to do a giveaway on here. The only thing I would ask, though, Gaz, is that the winner is prepared to pay for packaging and postage, because we don't. Well, I'm not going to sell them because they're free. They're freebies, mate. So, you know, if you're prepared to do a $4.95 postage and package fee, I'll ship out whoever wins, and I'm prepared to give 3 away, mate.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Spin the wheel?
Yeah, if you it's up to you, mate. It's your channel, but there's 3 calendars, mate, that are available for freebies. And I'd rather get rid of them now, you know, because we're in February already. So you can take me off big screen if you want to give me the creeps.
Top Jagger says, "Gears one then." There we go. Right, there we go, then, guys. What we're going to do is ask.
I'll send you one up, Gaz. Do you want one?
I'd love one, mate. Yeah.
Do you want one?
Oh, yeah, I love one, yeah.
I'll send you both one in the post for free.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.
For all those that are interested and would like to be in on and are prepared to pay for the postage and packaging, standard I'll pay is $10.95, Simon Shoes. Right. Just give us a
$5 postage, and you know, if it's more than that, then the company will swallow it up. It's not a problem.
Now you guys are going to have to. They're going to have to put you on the spot. Now you guys are going to have to talk amongst yourselves while I type out a 6 million. I'm in.
Oh God.
I'm going to put down Chris T. We all know that's Chris Taylor.
Yeah, it's
Mr. Tate. Thank you very much. What did you think to that?
Hello, Alan.
That marathon, then, Alan. What did you think to that?
Good evening.
Good evening.
It was a pretty fish, wasn't it, Alan?
It was a pretty fish. Simon Shears, I'm guessing you're in.
Pretty fish.
Yeah. You need to send me your address, Al, so I can get you a calendar sent up, lad. I have asked.
Sorry, I missed that bit.
Fucking hell, look at the state of him. Look like he just crawled out of a fucking edge. Just got out of bed, lad.
Has it been a long day?
What are you up to then, Al?
I'm sending me bloody address. No.
No time like the present, mate.
Exactly. I'm not going to see on my phone.
What you saved me as on the phone? Fresh. I ain't going to explain why. But I am an irritating
Oh crap,
No.
George.
Alan, you know about Goshki Sankey, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you
Somebody
think,
keep on
Mal?
going.
Do you like him, Al? Do you like Goshki Sankey, Al? Come on.
Why we're repeating everything here?
Fucking answer him.
You're not answering.
Talking to the missus.
It's another pretty big.
It's gone.
Why are you repeating yourself?
Told you don't answer. Andy hadn't sent me his address either. Probably just cut himself off trying to send that address.
Do us a favour, guys. Only put yourself in one. I've got Chris Taylor in twice, and I just tapped your name out again. I'm in. I'm Andy Smith.
So did I hear it right, Crafty? It's going to be done for mid-February. The golf course.
Yay!
It's handed over to us in mid-Feb.
Right.
And then,
That's pretty fast. That is.
well, to be fair, mate, I was talking to the builder.
It is pretty quick.
What day is it today? Thursday. I'm talking to him on Monday, and I said to him, I was like, he looks a spitting image of Steve Irwin as well.
Yeah.
I always call him Steve just to piss him off. And I was like, right, Steve, I said, you know, you're supposed to have this done like by the 12th, and that there's no way you're going to get that done. He was like, no, it was the 18th. I was like, right, Steve, it weren't, mate, it was the 12th. He said, it's the 18th. And I went, oh, do you reckon you'll hit that target? He said, 100%. And I was like, are you jesting, like? No, that's definitely going to be done. There's shitloads to do in my head, looking at it. But he's adamant that he'll get it handed over to us around the 18th. But we've still got to like make sure the till systems are working and get staff, complete new staff. I've just completed a recruitment on that, so I've got people lined up for work. But I've got to make sure that they're all lined up, ready to start, and you know that everything's running tickety boo before we actually open. But what we're going to do is we're going to open to select individuals and then really stress test it, like try and bring about 400 people in 2 hours.
Yeah,
just to really push the boundaries, just to see what breaks, what don't, what lessons we learn. Because we've got to run a business, so there's no good seeing 50 people turn up and only 20 get round in an hour. You know what I mean? It's like we've got to work out how it all works. So, so the target launch is going to be first week of March.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Easter's a good time.
Yeah, well,
everything kicks off.
Yeah, I mean, for the koi pond, everything's plumbed in now. The builders weren't very happy with me because I made them redo the returns that were already run under the decking that had been built. That's only because where they'd run the returns across ground, when they didn't do it at the right angle, so there's actually like 10 mil out from the join at the back of the drum, and they was trying to make all these curves to try and make it fit. And then they put a rubber boot over. I was like, you can fucking get that off. Huh? I can't get it married up. I said, well, why have you done it like? Why haven't you like joined it all up dry fit and then run it off? I said, that's your bad. You need to get them all done, all pulled out and redone. So they spent the best part of a day and a bit swearing about me because I've made them undo all their work and redo it again to make sure that I just had a solid pipe running straight back. 4-inch returns under them.
Yeah.
So all the pipe work's all done now. We haven't put the air source heat pump in yet, so that is like an after sort of affair, because we've got to have we've got a double story, like double decker type air source heat pump. Where we wanted it, it weren't working with how it fits in with a koi calf. So we've had to redesign it, but we ain't going to have the builders there. So it's going to be a project for later on. But we're just waiting now. I think tomorrow, if the rain subsides or whatever, we'll be painting the pond. If it's not tomorrow, it'll be Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. And it'll be waterproofed and then filled and fleshed, and that'll be pressure tested and everything as well. So I hope they've glued the joints well enough.
Yeah.
So, and then we'll be ready to fill it with fish.
Yay!
How's everything else gone in? Because you're doing a bit of an overhaul with a shop inside, weren't you? Having a
the units inside are pretty much, I'd say 95% done. We've just got to do some insulation on the insides, and they're ready to hand over pretty much. So, we're getting there. Still little odds and ends to do, like snags and stuff. But
not for any more.
Yeah, our target was the end of March for both projects.
Yeah,
we're going to try and get them open at the same time, just to reduce the amount of messing about that goes on.
Yeah,
it's the last of it all happens while I'm in Japan, so the boss is stressing a bit.
Yeah,
I've got to prop him up.
If anybody else wants in, just drop in your name, as long as you haven't already put it in once. I believe I've got everybody there that's there. Chasing through, just double checks. Jigs, Chris Taylor, Simon Shears, Top Chagger, George Murdoch, Twisted Koi, Andy's Koi Puddle, Amanda Smith, DT Koi, Brian Glover, the Koi Couple, Tony Barker, Marcus Watson, Claude, Paul Johnson, Paul Hutchinson, Jeff Lees, Dale Sauter, Tony Wheeler, Jason Candler, Colin Hall, Fanfret Steve, Terence Gander, Alan, Teresa Shears, Lee Koi, Chasing Koi, RI Gaming, Liam Newell, Deborah King. That's it. Spin it. Free. First three draws, first three people. We're not going to do a knockout because I don't want it to drag on all evening. Oh, what we got there?
Japan Airlines have just sent me an email saying that the flight's gone back up to 996 quid.
Shit.
Oh, bless them.
I don't care. It's on the company, mate.
Oh, well, that's, yeah. Book free. Me and Daz will come with too. Right then. Good luck to all. Say again?
Got the fucking nutty professor, isn't he? Look.
I'm surprised this is the longest he's been on without a short intermittent break.
He's going through his books looking for something just to piss me off, I think.
Yeah, he is.
I'd say I told you. Normal form.
Any more for any more? You're watching it. You don't want to pay $4.99 for a postage of an amazing calendar like that for you. Is that
just so you know,
you've missed 1 month already, but that's
UK mainland only.
UK only. Yeah.
Mainland.
Any more for any more?
Spin it.
Going twice. Spin away. First one, first draw. There's 3, did you say, After?
3, mate, I'll give.
Here we go. Good luck. The tension. There you go, Liam. That's the first one.
There you go, mate.
That's better than a chili, mate.
Yeah.
Right, so if you send me over either on Crafty Koi or Perfect Aquatics Facebook Messenger, your telephone number or whatever, or your name, I'll send you over the telephone number. You'll need to ring in and pay the shop before I release it, mate.
Unlucky, Ray. Terribly sorry, mate. You're just a little bit late on the... So that's you out, Liam, for that one. You just missed out, Ray. Sorry, mate. Maybe on the next one. And this one is going to be...
Terence or Alan.
Oh, it's just tipped into Alan. Congrats, Alan.
Well, mate.
From Alan.
Again, same thing, mate. You can contact Crafty or Perfect Aquatics. Any problems, just drop me a message, mate, and I'll get it through to Crafty for you as well. Anybody that is. Last one. Good luck. Chris Taylor. I'm just making sure. Congratulations, mate.
You should have been disqualified.
Putting his name in 16 times.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in, please. There you go, Chris. Nice one, mate. And that be that. Let's just see who could have won. Just to see. Well, let's see what you could have won. Come on. Terence, unlock yourself. There we go, guys.
Liam's already, Terry,
Give
mate.
yourself a nice little calendar there.
Liam's already messaged. Thank you, Liam. I've got that, mate.
Look at that, a bit of inception going on there.
Oh, look at that. That's nice. Go on then, Alan. What have you found? Oh, fuck off then.
He finds it. He finds it. All that brat, Alan, and they can't afford no decent Wi-Fi.
Right, I've just got to pick you up, Gaz, on what you started off with this morning on your live with regards to feeding. All right. Daz is quite right. Giving them a bit of food in the cold water does keep your fish ticking over. Okay, but you've got to be mindful when you've not got heat or stable water conditions.
Yeah,
because if you're not feeding a food that is highly digestible in colder water, then all you're simply going to do is clog up the digestive system of your koi.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know what you were saying. It's the way you do it, and I'm not taking nothing away. I'm just saying, just be mindful because it may be 9 degrees in your water now. And
that's the thing, mate. It's 2 days later, it's totally changed to this out there.
And that is how long it will take a koi to digest its food, its feed, 48 hours. So you've got to think 48 hours in advance, right? A little bit more. So if that temperature drops right off, that koi
is sitting there with it,
just sitting there rotting in its gut. Now bear in mind that pellet turns to nitrite, okay, when it's left untouched in water. Okay, so you've got to be really mindful. Although they're coming up looking food, that's what they associate you with. Okay, so you've got to be disciplined enough to know if that water temperature is going to plummet, not to do it because they're not going to starve. They will still be perfectly fine, and you potentially could be doing more harm than good.
Than good, yeah.
So
the only plus side to it is the fact that I've got 27 fish in there, so it ain't all that much food that they got when you think about
I'll get that, but nevertheless, one pellet it still takes 24 hours to digest.
Yeah.
If it's not a wheat germ that's easily digestible, or that type of food.
Now then, Alan, I'm going to bring that up.
Come on, then, you smart ass bastard. What do you want?
This is homework.
No.
It's worse than that.
Numbers at the side of it, and there's arrows. This is homework, mate.
Oh, has he already sent stuff in? Oh, lovely. What are you saying?
That was in 91. 1991. So they've been around a while. They're just not that popular.
They're not popular in the UK. You don't see them in the UK. But you know what I like about Alan? He don't forget fuck all.
No, but did you see how many boxes he had to go through to find that image?
But he still got it.
2. He knew exactly what he wanted.
It, mate. Like I said, the Nutty Professor. But what a fish. What a fish.
Yeah.
That's a Sankey Goshki, yeah?
That's
or
a Showa Goshki.
A Showa Goshki.
Oh.
Yeah.
Same but different.
How do you refine the difference between Sankey Goshki and Showa Goshki?
What's on the head of that fish? What's right on the nose?
It's just that, Al.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like. So I'm waiting for my dog to come running back in.
No, they're nice fish. Just you don't see many of them.
No.
That's nice, aren't they? Are these? Would you consider this maybe more of an old school fish that they used to breed that they're going to try and make more popular again? Then
I think they tried then, but it's not easy to do, especially the way Goshies are more really dark now. The real style you don't see many of.
Yeah.
I recommend
they're the ones that I like the best, where you start seeing the robing come through the benny.
I was trying to
nuts.
I was trying to dig one of mine up, but I can't find the picture of it. I'll find it eventually. Which I bought. Look, I didn't like Goshies, to be honest. I find them boring. But I did buy one once because it had superb rubbing on the benny plate. So, but that was a few years ago, so that's dead.
Well, so you don't want to be digging that one up then, mate.
No.
Wouldn't have much body left on that, would it?
No.
Claude's asked there a recommendation, and somebody like you, Alan, a recommendation of a book showing koi varieties, patterns, colours for a new hobby, new to the hobby like me.
I'll give you one, Gas, because I found myself down this expensive road of buying books. What I will say is that some of the more expensive books are lovely and worth having, but they're quite dated in comparison to what the koi are now. So body shape and stuff like that is a completely different leaf.
Totally different fish, aren't they?
I can't say the name. It's Kikogaru or something. Alan, you'll know.
Alan's got it on the shelf there at the side of him. He's just going to grab it.
But the book that I found to be probably the most informative, that's the one.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent book, but a little bit dated with body styles and things like that and bloodlines.
I'm just going to make that bigger so you can see it.
The best ones I found is Koi 1 and Koi 2. They're extremely good books, in my opinion. They give you the background of the fish, what to look for, etc., etc., etc. They're really, really good books. They're the ones.
That's a good book, that. That is a good book.
Amazing.
Aaron's got that book.
Yeah.
There's 2 copies to that, and they're part 1 and 2.
Part 1 and 2. You'll pick them up at koi shows around 50 quid a book. And they're the nuts. They're brilliant.
Look, Peter, here's one I prepared earlier. And obviously, of course, as this would not be Gaz's Koi Pond if we did not bring in and introduce the Bible.
Is that a signed copy?
That book's on the 80s, mate. I've got that book and all.
It's a good basic book, though, for a lot of information, but it is a good book for basic stuff. Well, not basic stuff. There's a lot of information in there, but these are probably more your type of books for patterns and such, as you were asking in your question.
They go into a lot more detail into what the fish is about.
Feeling, just in case you were wondering.
The one that Al's got is really good as well. But you probably can't get hold of that anymore.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Oh, look at that.
First, again, this was done by a Japanese author. So Nishigoi Mondo. And I think Mark Gardner had something to do with this book as well. I'm sure Mark was involved with this. Yeah, he was.
History as well, then.
Yeah, Mark Gardner was. Ray Jordan.
Books, even in the shop. You know, anyone learning koi in the shop, you know, I'll use that as reference for testing, and you know, quite often turn to a page and end up diving in and going, "Oh, I didn't know that."
Yeah,
we'll take that point because there's so much to remember and learn. You don't know everything. I certainly don't. It's fucking useless.
What's that weird divisive background there behind you, Alan?
It's a Hoover. Oh, it's a window cleaner, isn't it?
Yeah. My dear wife. It's my dear wife's homework.
Technology.
See, now this couldn't have been a better question, really, because if you want to know about books, there you go. Living Jewels.
Yeah.
What have you got?
That's good as well, from South Africa.
Yeah.
That's quite detailed on scalation and gin rings and stuff.
We nearly saw a video on that, didn't we, Gaz? But it never actually got released.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So
we saw the trailer for it, and that was it.
Yeah. So
Jules.
Yeah, it is.
it even has pattern designs on Kahaku's Sankey's, everything. It's quite a good book for somebody who wants to learn about patterns. Yeah, pretty good.
That book you picked at the first one now that I've got. I can't say the name for the fucking life of me. I can't.
Have you still got that one, Noah's Step by Step, a Koi Builder's Guide?
How do you pronounce that?
Well, how would you pronounce it?
Well,
Just
I don't know, mate. I can't say it.
Really?
But the thing is that the first book comes with a CD-ROM.
Yeah.
Which is quite.
Who's got a CD-ROM?
Yeah, it's about 120 quid. But through it learns you the basics on how they grade their fish as well. So they'll
Have you still
show
got
you.
a CD-ROM, Al? We might have to pop up to watch it because
I'll still be working on Windows 96 or something. But in it, they'll show you certain fish, and then they'll ask you to start grading it. And then as you turn the page, it will then break it down and show you the real reasons behind it, which is really good.
Yeah.
Is it worth 120 quid? It depends how far down you want to dig into your pockets. You know, the second book is about 300 quid.
Yeah.
But it's the best one.
Can you download it online?
Possibly, but probably not. I'll let you find that
In
out.
fact, you scan it, put it online, we'll sell it, we'll bang them out at $150 a book, ebooks.
No, but for me, the value for money, for the information you get, is definitely Koi 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Alan, have you still got any good videos on VHS?
He's got loads, man. I know.
He has tons of them.
Mate, I know Al, right? He has got a TV with a video attached. Do you remember, like, off the 90s where you combined?
Built in.
One of them in that office. Look.
There it is.
Oh, God. One of them from when about 5-year-old.
I've been on the blower to Al, and he sat in his
20
office
years ago.
watching a video off the 90s just to have a look and doing research on fish and where they've come from.
About Betamax. Al, have you got any on Betamax? We record Not Fade Away Scotch videotapes.
Honest to God, that is devotion, though, isn't it? To sit and watch a VHS that's like almost worn out with like white stripes and
collections of them, tons.
God,
you know, and that's
Debbie does what?
To be an expert. That's all I can say, you know.
No one there. No one there. You've got to have something to read.
Everyone.
Yeah, if anybody would like to get a membership of your video collection, do we have to rewind it before we send them back?
I've still got cassettes that look like books. You know, the covers.
Yeah, the book, like, the binder on it.
Yeah.
Oh, dear me. There you go. Remember to rewind before sending it back. You used to get a right roasting for that, didn't you? You take it back to the video shop, it wasn't rewound.
Yeah, back to Blockbuster.
You were a posh bugger though, weren't you? When they brought out the DVD sections with 16 DVDs on top line.
Blu-ray.
You got plastic. And now you can just get them on internet and watch them straight in HD 24/7.
Then we got updated and had videos.
That's what killed
But you know something, mate? It's a shame they don't do it anymore.
Yeah. My wife used to work at Blockbusters. We used to get 10 rents free a week because she worked there. It was brilliant. We saw all the latest films. They folded more or less overnight.
Now we stream them on an evening.
Yeah.
You don't actually own them anymore. I'll tell you what, Al, you could do that, you know, transfer them onto video, onto a DVD and sell them. You'd be like the old Chinese people down on Whitehall Road in London, mate. None of it's authentic.
Alan's doing it the other way around, though. He's getting CDs or DVDs transferred to records so he can still play them.
One day, Cathy, I'd like to see that one because that's just all about me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Look at that face.
You know when you die soon. Can you put it in your will for me so I can keep it?
I certainly will, mate.
I do often wonder whether or not he'll ever, like, when I ring him, he'll actually pick the phone up because he's not far off it.
I'm on that one as well. That's mainly me yakking a lot.
Alan is a coffin dodger.
I've got a couple of digital copies with you, but you're not yakking so much. I even tried to make you laugh. That was hard, that man. And so I managed to graze a bit of a snaky smile. That's a serious time, wasn't it? I got you to giggle. I did get you to giggle at you.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. I'd love to do that.
This is your life.
On Alan.
Do, 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 do. Come in with your little red book.
Hello, Alan. Do you remember me from 1986? You didn't give me the GC at Billing Aquadrive.
Yeah. That sticks. Crappy Gosby, sure.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, dear me. So what's up and coming then, Al? What's this? Excuse me. What's this week's? Have you seen how that sign in the background is getting slightly more foggier?
Yeah,
Like the hairs around it. It's looking cool.
the boat looks blue as well.
Yeah. What's up and coming that you've got going on this year then? If you're anything you're allowed to disclose, talk about. Or what you got planned for this year? Other than, let's not say koi scene. What have you got planned for your koi season?
Same as every year, talks and shows. I've got a talk again this weekend, Sunday.
What's that about?
Conditioning fish for shows.
Nice. Where's that? If anybody might be interested.
The first one. That one's at the North Koi Club.
Northern Koi Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to be a member of the koi club to be there.
Oh, no.
You do. You can turn up on the day and think, wow, he's fantastic, him, and join the club.
Chris weren't watching my live last week looking at that last question. Very poor, Chris.
Would you be interested in doing a GKP talk night event on any topic you want, where we just stick your center screen and you can just go for it?
That was pretty boring, me by myself.
Well, no, we can sit there with you and just.
Do you realise when I do talks, most talks are done by someone sitting in front of everybody, waffling on for hours. Not my talks, you don't. I'll ask you questions.
Well, that's that. What do you think? There's 83 people watching. Would you be interested in having a talk show evening with Alan, where he sits there and you can put questions to him and he can talk for hours? I'd love to sit there and listen to that.
Oh,
what you need to do, though,
we can do it privately if nobody else wants. You can just do a show to two people, me and you. Tune in.
What you need to do, though, guys, is maybe come up
questions. Though. We're pretty thick.
Yeah. We could have questions sent in advance, so you've got a chance to do a little bit of. Well, actually, we've seen how quickly you find your information. And give you a bit of a. What about that for an upcoming evening? We can get some.
Oh yeah, I would do it. You know, I would.
Oh, bless
Sweet.
you. Thank you, Alan.
I think that'd be
when
meant.
have we booked in for the Rowan show, Al? Because I ain't got my calendar in front of me. You got your diary?
I think you're planning on doing it at the end of April, aren't you?
Yeah.
End of April. I'm booked up on the 6th and the 13th.
Let me see if I can find it.
Sorry, I missed that. There's a quick question there, Alan, from Chris Taylor. Alan, thoughts on the All Japan results?
I didn't disagree with the GC. I thought the GC was the GC. I placed the reserve GC third. I had a different Sankey in second. But yeah, the results were pretty good. I couldn't really fault them from what I saw. But the thing is, I didn't see all the fish. I only really saw the contenders. But yeah, the GC with the right fish.
Sweet.
I wouldn't disagree.
Just to go a little off topic again, Jig says he'll wait for it to come out on VHS.
Good.
Agreed, Crafty. Thumbs up. Head size on the Sankey Jumbo was up for debate.
That was the Jumbo Champion now, the one that had a 3-year-old head on.
Technically reserve grand champion.
Yeah, the reserve, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that in third.
So
Vicky
people
says,
weren't watching
"Come
last
on,
week
please."
now. We had a discussion. We had a discussion on the head sizes of the fish because there was a lot of negativity about the fact that the head size on the Sankey was too small for the body.
The fish just had immense volume, probably too much volume. But all the other qualities of the fish were superb. So you've got to give some credence to the fact that someone had grown that fish to the size it was, nearly a metre in length, and to have that volume is superb. All the other attributes, the skin was superb, the luster on that fish was good, sumi quality was excellent, placement was excellent, benny plate was superb, shiroji was superb. So you're knocking it back for the head size on a fish that had massive volume. The issue was the volume. It was too much.
Too much volume, making its head look smaller.
Yep.
Now, I think we've said this before, haven't we? At some point, or sometimes you do see fish and you think, God damn, man, that looks out of proportion.
Yeah.
To the head because the body is such a mass.
Yeah. But I think you find in Japan they're a bit more lenient and accept that, yes, that was slightly the wrong size head on the fish, but all the other qualities outshone some of the other fish.
Yeah.
And we are very critical over here. I hear it when I'm at shows on a Sunday. People really ripping into fish and think, really, guys, try koi appreciation first.
Yeah.
Appreciate what the fish is good at, what qualities it has, not the little negatives.
Yeah.
Right. We are hung up on negatives.
People judge it for the bad side of it, not the quality that it's and what it's taken to get it to that in the first place.
You know, one thing that I'll point out is that have a look at the amount of champion fish or fish that took prizes, had red eyes and benny leaking into pecks and things like that, right? And if you see what the Japanese do and where they go, it really outlines that the pattern comes last, you know, and actually a small demerit doesn't take away much from the rest of the qualities of the fish, where that Sankey actually fits really well into, you know, I was looking, and I'll get shot for this, but Koi Waterbarn put some YouTube vids out of different fish that took different prizes, and just have a look at the difference in what most people that buy a fish looking for that perfect koi do, which is, you know, no red eyes, no benny leaking into that. This, you know, oh, that don't look too good. That don't look too good. Actually, if it's small, it don't make a bloody great difference.
It's just a demerit, isn't it?
Yeah. You know, and I have this
appreciating the fish's size, skin quality, body shape, quality, skin luster,
body skin,
and then the pattern comes as the last bit, which you then, if necessary, you're pairing two against each other or banging two off of each other.
Yeah.
The demerits take out the first to second place.
Totally. Yeah. You know, and some of these books that we was discussing earlier actually really break down how you segregate a fish to actually work out which one has the best pattern with regards to balance, placement, etc., etc. It really helps you like rethink. And the amount of chats that I have, especially with show people that are looking for that. It's like, oh well, that's got that on it, or that's got that, and it's like, but you're not looking at this bit. You are not, you're saying that you prefer that fish because its markings are all in the right space. But look at the fucking body on that. Just because it's got a red eye, you telling me that fish is not better than that one because it's got a red eye? And people are so hung up on pattern in this country and looking for the demerits rather than the merits. It's just fucking unreal. Yeah. Very recently, with a show person, I spent a good amount of time with this person. And he said, I don't like it because of that. I'm like, whoa, stop, man. We need to put this back in because that is a better fish than that, hands down. And it's quite a seasoned show person as well. I'm not going to mention names and that, but it happens so often with show people. You've got to get away from it. Bollocking over anyway.
The pattern that's the bit in it. It's beauty's in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? And everybody goes wow to the pattern, not wow to the fish. A lot of the time. I mean, when I've gone to shows, I just sit there and think, wow to chuffing all of them, because all of them, to me, the vast majority of the fish, you can't really say, can you? Have you ever been to a show and you've gone, that's a shit fish? You can't, can you?
No.
Truthfully, but being completely honest,
generally,
everything that I see at most shows or all the shows are stunningly quality fish.
There's certain fish that you can look at and go, that's not ready for a show.
Yeah. I've heard the stuff that Alan said to people while he's being stood there. When you're just listening in outside, and you think, just not ready. That needed a bit more body on it. For example, like when he said to Lee, and this will do this and that will do that. And when you look now at Lee's videos and you see that fish and think, what the hell? It's exactly what he said it'd do, and it's done it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing with Lee. He's took you on that journey when no one else has ever done that.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't really a journey he took me on. It was a journey I sneaked in on, and I was like, side of Alan, listening to Lee get a bit of a roasting.
At the national with that conversation between Al and Lee. Yeah, I know that. But if you go back to when Lee first started showing. To where Lee is now, he has took you on all of those journeys with his little Welsh self and his constant innuendos, right? But
it's a breath of fresh air, mate, isn't it?
When you look, you can see the progression that Lee's had just by listening and doing. The thing is, people do a lot of listening, but they then don't practice what it is that people tell them. The right people tell them. And that's where your selective knowledge really needs to be fine-tuned.
Can you do me a quick favour for him, Alan? Right now, could you go through the Gosanke and tell me all the varieties? This is no pun intended. No pun. This is not. I'm not taking piss. What they've got? 3 fish. What are they?
Kahaku, thank you, sure.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hadfield. There's no W in Kahaku.
Mate, please don't, because he mispronunciates it. The reason why he mispronounces it. I can't even say the fucking word. Pronunciation is because of his injury that he sustained in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So just bear that in mind.
Yeah, lots of people didn't know that they were crafty. That's the thing.
But he don't mind sharing it. So I'll just.
Oh, I thought it was a little bit of a joke thing. It must have been.
No, I've got the video of.
Really? Oh shit!
I've got the video of when he was in a tower in Afghanistan, and a rocket hit the tower he was in, killing 3 of his mates, and he was the only survivor. He had severe head injury that crushed his skull and his brain swelled. And
so if I try a bit harder, I might get both feet in then, yeah?
Definitely. He won't hold you to it, mate. He'll just say, the reason I'll do it is because of that. So,
Bollocks.
To be fair, he does say it wrong.
I thought Alan had been telling him wrong. That's why I just wanted to double check.
It's just hard to speak English when you're Welsh.
Yeah, there is that.
No, I
too.
never said that, Lee. That's worse. So, there you go. There you go. Yeah, thanks, Al. You just got me out of the straight out of the shit there with that one. Nice one.
But the question is, how do you say goshki? Is it goshiki or is it goshki?
Yeah, which is it? Is it Goshki or Goshiki?
That's how it's spelled, surely.
It's dead easy. It's pale as shit.
So which would it be then? We can't go in into like Coy Waterban and say, "Can I buy a pile of shit?" Alan says, "That's not going to happen, is it?" which way is it? See, Vince taught me with. It's not hi at Surrey, it's he at Surrey, and I've always remembered that when he did his little piss taking video, and I thought it was pretty damn funny, and it's always been something I've always remembered. But what was the other one, Daz? I always used to say wrong.
Potassium.
No, don't do that one. Piss off. I'm talking about fish. It was a fish. It was another fish that I always used to say wrong. It was Deutz.
Yeah.
Doitsu.
Deutzu.
Yeah, there was no Sue.
Ooh.
Top Chaggers asked Alan, I'm currently setting up a Chagoy project so I can show any advice.
Feed them.
Feed them all.
Yeah.
Feed them and eat, man.
Feed them in heat, yeah. That is the secret. Feed them
Tell you
good
what,
food,
your
good
food
enough
bill's
crap.
going to be good. Sorry, Al.
The food bill.
Chagways are easy, dead easy. You've just got to keep them in prime condition.
I'm getting a good one so they don't end up with tons of
Shimmies and
shimmies
bumps.
everywhere in it. That's the hardest thing with a good chag.
Oh, don't they? That's the trouble with chags.
That's always the hard part.
And all the
Yeah,
knocks
yeah.
and bumps they get
I
turn
get-
into like black scarring, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't see a lot of Chagways in the show scene with shimmies nowadays. In the early 90s, late 90s, quite common to have shimmies on them. They seem to have sorted that problem out.
Yeah.
Adam Byers Chags really are quality.
Yeah, it's got some nice ones. I've just been posting on Facebook. There's some good fish in there.
Yeah, I saw the latest batch you just put out there. They were nice.
I've got some
Yeah.
nice shags.
Sorry.
I've got some with
That's
shimmies. People are still looking.
aquatic. Let's
I
take a
haven't
quick
got
message
a
from our sponsor.
Here's one for you, Al. While we're speaking of chags,
He's got some nice ones, by the way.
it's more of a question. So, green coloured chag, when you get there,
David,
Right.
wind me up. You're winding me up, pal. You really are winding me up, you.
It's a
people know,
chag.
right? You get your chocolate brown, you get your olive skinned, and you get your green chags. What's the difference between the three?
What was Chagway supposed to be originally?
Tea colour.
Equally, yeah.
The colour, yes. And then everybody decided we'll cross different things in and mix the gene pool up. So technically, at a show, as a judge, I will still give preference to a fish that is the right colour.
Now then. So all
Now,
what,
that is me.
what you're trying to say then? So all these light coloured chags, anything that's not tea green, which is what chagoy is supposed to be,
Yeah,
is a demerit.
yeah. Technically, it's a demerit.
You go with the body, you go with the skin luster, and then you'd slap them with the colour demerit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I personally do. Other judges don't.
But don't forget, on top of that, you've still got reticulation.
Yeah.
You've
Yep.
got food
Footprints go there.
as well. All right. In the single coloured fish, you've got added things that you really need to focus on.
Yeah, you need to see fuchering across the shoulders as well as the body as well. It's quite common to see fuchering just on the side of the fish, but not on the backbone.
Yeah.
So that's technically a demerit.
You know.
So it should be there.
What's he
So if you're
laughing?
buying them, buy them with footering on the shoulders,
There you
on the
go.
back one.
There we go. And Jig says they ain't leaving them in the tea bag in.
Lingerie.
For a second, when I looked at that, I thought they didn't lingerie enough, but it's long enough.
What I want to know is why is auto danger changed to lingerie? Not a weird one.
Oh, dear me. Jigs, you always get me, man. It's good. I've got to admit, though, I do like the Chagoy single colour fish. There's a character in your pond, isn't it? They are very much a character in your pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
They're not for everyone.
Claude's just asked the now then, you ready for this? You ready for it, Claude? Because Alan, do you own your own pond? How many fish?
Surely, Claude, you know the answer to this question.
Doesn't have a pond. He has 3 lakes.
I've
He
got a
does it
pond,
otherwise
yeah.
he wouldn't ask it out.
Don't you have a pond as well?
Yeah,
You
my
have-
daughter's. My pond's at my daughter's. But she's
How's that work?
always been into koi, and she looks after them. And number of fish, but the last count was 74.
Wow.
Flipping heck, I thought I had a lot.
That's provided I didn't have a meal with the females, but I haven't.
So yeah, so he has got. Is that all right? So in 3.
Yeah.
You have got three lakes.
Yep. I've got the use of 3 lakes.
3 lakes, mate.
I'm cutting it down to 1 next year.
Some say he's been seen every now and again on a motorboat, just going around just to feed them.
Well, you ought to do this direct. Cost a fortune.
There's a fish, a Shiro.
He's new, actually. He didn't know, and he's new. He's a new hobbyist. That's sweet. There you go, mate. Yeah.
Right.
Claude, just so you're aware, Alan is the head judge for the BKKS. And
That's incorrect. That's incorrect.
It's not, mate.
I am the
And
chairman.
It's
The
not.
chairman.
I am
He
the
is.
chairman.
Oh, sorry, he's the chairman of the judges for the BKKS.
I'm not the head judge.
Yeah,
Which
but
is the British Koi Keepers Society. In case
he
you
always
didn't know
plays it down.
that one is as well.
And the British and the Joint Standards Committee for Koi.
In other words, mate, if you ever do get to go to a show this year, if you see that bloke in a Bobby Dazzler suit walking around with a clipboard looking right important,
Don't talk to him because he'll fucking blank
yeah,
you.
he'll ignore you. outside of it, when he's outside, he'll talk to you. But when he's inside, he's got the professional head on.
Yeah,
and
but he's got to do a job.
He's got a job to do. Yeah,
That's what you got to remember. When
if
when
you sneak it, you'll see him. If you ever check out a couple of my videos, mate, you'll see him on some of the shows. You'll see me trying to get a sneaky giggle out of him.
yeah.
I've tried.
I'm
I've
like
done
videos.
it once. Done the one. It was, I knew. There you go. He says, I knew you was a judge. I saw him at Newark. That's where I got him laughing, mate. So,
Yeah.
That'll
Normally,
sneak
he
you
can't even talk to me, and I'm one of his mates. Fucking right, miserable bastard.
Jig says he's also the chairman of the VHS.
I am going to nickname you now, Al.
Yeah.
Alan Blockbuster Tate. Yeah, mate.
You could have an extra title behind back of your BKKS VHS.
Well, since I met you lot, I've had quite a few names.
Ooh,
The Emperor.
the Emperor.
Yeah.
All hail.
The encyclopedia of knowledge in the show scene. But I think you need to
Very
come
much
to
so.
Japan with me next year, Al.
Jill keeps on about it, saying, why didn't you get out with them idiots? I says, because they're idiots.
Next year, then you'll be on the plane with us, lad.
I suppose it's time I went back.
I'll even
Sure.
get you some of them.
Yours can be in the colour of plum to match your eyes.
I'll tell you, I spent a fucking small fortune just to go to Japan.
Yeah.
Fucking new boots.
Yeah, but it's probably
Leather
going to be an
gear, it's gonna
investment.
be 18 degrees.
It's not going to be a one-off thing, is it? You're going to if this is a success,
It's
it's
going to be
become a regular.
No, success or not, mate. I'll learn from my mistakes, and then with every visit, build on my experience and build them relationships, mate. I've got to, it's the success of the koi department. I mean, I've seen a message earlier that says, "What's the difference between Ryan's market and my market?" They're worlds apart in the industry. Ryan has built his brand over the past 5 years as exclusive, probably 6 exclusively koi. Off of the back of a lifetime of being round koi. Kev, his business partner, he was selling fish before he joined up with with Ryan. So between them, they've got an extensive knowledge of koi, but they've hit the show scene really well. They're well respected within the show scene. I'm not saying the bigger fish. That's not Ryan's market. The biggest fish. Ryan's market is, grades 5, sizes 5 down to 1. And you'll often see exclusively koi's name written under quite a lot of awards at a koi show. What I will say is that, I've come into Perfect with an establishment that is the biggest in the UK, especially in the koi area. By the end of this year, we'll have 90 koi ponds. Okay, and I cannot put 90 koi ponds full of show quality fish. And I can't do it because that's not my
role, mate, aren't you?
Totally not. I've got to cater for people that just want to go and throw some shit in a pond. And I'll say shit in comparison to the ones where you'll spend £1,000 on a fish. Yeah. These are down at the lower grade, like 20, 30, 40 quid a fish, right? But they're the ones that are actually really important because they're the ones that turn into
bread and butter, mate, isn't it?
Right. So Perfect Aquatics has not got or hasn't had any sort of exposure in the koi scene, in the koi show scene. That will change this year and next. I've already got koi sold to people that show. Whether they choose to show this year or next year or the year after, it's a slow burner. You've got to make your brand, So I've come into that place with an objective to get Perfect Aquatics noticed in the koi scene, in the koi show scene, while still maintaining that relationship I've got with all of the other hobbyists and newcomers, etc. Because there's a lot of koi dealers out there that chat shit about the fish that they put in their ponds. They will say very high quality. I've seen one on Facebook today, high quality, and I looked, mate, and if I'm honest with you, they were not. They was nothing, nowhere near high quality. In fact, if it was me hand picking, even the lowest quality, I would not have picked them for my shop. Right, so the industry is huge. It's not just koi are for everyone because they're really not. I've got to go to Japan to pick fish that I know people will want to buy, that are at the right price point for certain customers. I've got to buy fish for serious hobbyists that don't mind shelling out 300 or 400 quid for a fish, 600, 700, 800 quid for a fish, all the way through to, and I sold a fish last year for 15 grand. Okay,
and those will be the kind of people that are especially after a specific type of fish.
And it was sought for that person. And they are worlds apart. Them people are worlds apart. So Ryan has only got, I think, 8 ponds in his shop in Kent, and he has got an off-site establishment at Retford, okay, which is his quarantine area and his holding area. Okay, Ryan will miss a lot of the sort of cheaper variety because his market is not the koi pond hobby is starting out, not on the scale that I am. So that is where the difference is in the market. And Ryan will do a lot of selling off of pictures of people that don't even visit his establishment. Again, I have not got that following yet, but it's building and it's starting to work. But you've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
In order to build your empire. You know?
And you've also got to maintain your clientele, like you said, more coming to pick up. Oh, that's a pretty. Oops, that's a pretty little fish. That's the kind of fish that I would like in my pond, because I'm not interested in the koi scene. I just want some nice fish to grow on that look nice in my everyday garden pond.
Yep. I had somebody message me 2 weeks ago. I've just started a pond up. This is the measurements, worked it out. It's 2,000 litres. Okay. No, it weren't. It was 800 litres. He said, I want some red and white fish and some red, white, and black fish. And I was like, okay. I've got loads of them. And what's your price point? He said, I don't really know. What have you got? I said, I can't. I'm not gonna go in my shop and send you pictures of all the different fish, because they're worlds apart. Some of them are like 60 quid. Some of them, you know, you're looking at £3,000. They're worlds apart, you know. I obviously weren't going to sell him a £3,000 fish in such a small body of water, but the point was, it's completely different. I said, right, so send me over some pictures of what you'd like and what your budget was. So he sent me his budget. I'm not going to say what it was, but it weren't the same as against the fish that he'd sent me. The fish he'd sent me were actually show winning fish. And I mean GC or baby champion.
Absolutely.
It's like,
beautiful pieces of art.
Where you are fucking miles apart. That fish, as it stands there, will probably cost you £800 on its own. Oh, well, I haven't got that much money. And that's my point. That's why you need to come to the shop, so you can select what you like the look of, you know?
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard to sort of justify everything to everyone. So, you know, to go back to the thing, markets are very different. You know, Rick's market at Koi Wholesale, okay, he will cater for lots of different koi sellers, dealers out there, but he will also grow the better quality fish on, and then really market them up well, and then sell them for top dollar. You know, and I don't do that service. Rick does that service. Ryan doesn't do that service. There are a few establishments in the UK that do, but do they do it to the same quality as Rick? Probably not. You know, and there's lots of different ways of getting fish sold. You know, there's people on doing illegally, by the way, raffles for koi every single day. You know, and it doesn't follow the right rules in business that you should actually follow, because otherwise it's classed as gambling. And if you ain't got a license, then you shouldn't be doing it. But it's just one to watch out for, guys. You know, it may only be a 15 centimetre tozai that's being sold, or a 50 centimetre chag. It doesn't matter. If you're buying a ticket and someone's being drawn at random, it's classed as gambling.
Yeah,
There's lots of loopholes in it. Anyway, you've got to be careful. You've got to be doing it by.
You know, there's loads of different ways of selling. But the thing is, you as the customer have got to know what you want and where your price point is, and what your expectancies against that price point are. You know, because I can guarantee you, weight, like people starting out, are way above where they expect it to be.
Yeah.
If I showed you what we paid out in fish for last year against what our running costs for that business were, including employment, including the water bill, including food, including electricity costs, you would be absolutely fucking flabbergasted at how much it actually costs just to run a koi department. And I do it for 3 different departments in that store. It is huge. You know, so when you look at a price of a fish, the price is there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, and that one thing I will say, you know. But what I will do is I will always, irrespective, try and put that fish at the lowest rate that I can afford to sell that fish for. I won't over egg anything, not one fish. And the reason for that is because I was a hobbyist before I moved into Perfect Aquatics. So when I used to look, I used to think, fuck, I like that fish. Look at
Yeah,
the
that's the stage I'm at now. Fuck, I like that fish.
just outside my price range.
Yeah.
Right? So now I'm looking at ways, because I've got a big establishment, I've got ways where I can lose a little bit of price and gain in other places. Right. So for me, that's what I'm trying to do. Is it going to piss other dealers off? Yes. Am I bothered?
Business is business, mate. That's what it is, isn't it? It's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fucking ball ache looking after so many ponds.
Yeah.
I bet it is. But you've got one thing that nobody else can offer, mate. Who else can have a round of golf when they come to pick up a bag of fish?
Yeah, there was a lot
As
of
that may be.
there was a lot of speculation around that decision, to be perfectly honest.
You know, mate, I think it's mint. I think it's a brilliant idea.
But
I
it's
think
art first. It's perfect
I'd have
sense.
loved to have done that with my kids when they were younger.
Yeah.
The difference is, mate, you know, it's not just around the golf. You've got, I mean, you guys have been there. You've got the cafe on site. We've now got 6 businesses due to move in. You know, all of which will bring extra footfall. You know, that extra footfall will convert a percentage of customers that come to see them that have never seen a fish tank or a koi pond. And they will go, oh, I fancy having a pond in my garden. Never thought of that. Isn't they lovely? And they will buy as a result of that. You know, the thing with a golf
window bill might go up a little bit. Your glazing bill for you.
I mean, yeah and no.
Especially after the YouTubers event.
The YouTubers event will be a good scream. It'll be a good scream, you know.
The Will can bring me wares.
You fucking need to, man, because you're going in the drink.
No, new
You fishing? Are you fishing out all the stray golf balls, Al? Is that what he's got you roped in for?
That's what I'm there for. Get the wares on, get the golf balls.
You won't need to, mate. They all float. We got floating golf balls because we got water.
Oh, good. Boring.
One of the holes, mate, right? You actually hit the ball into the fucking water.
Wow.
And the water does the rest. No, but
it's all right. I think you'll find that happens quite
into
often.
the water, and it will travel down the river and then get spat out onto the green. You know that is, you know, for a young kid, that's just mint, isn't it? Just to watch,
it is.
You know,
I'll enjoy it.
drop a bit of grass into a stream and watch it float under the bridge. Hey, it'll be mint.
Yeah, be great, man. Can't wait. To be fair, it's gonna be good.
But the other thing is that koi pond outside,
the one that you're gonna have your like showpieces in.
well, no, there's not going to be showpieces, Cass. They're going to be.
But it's the ones that you're buying, growing on, and then moving on.
Yeah, so
but they're going to be a showpiece, mate. Obviously, people are going to come and look at that just for the appreciation.
Yeah. So it's a pond for people to admire from the koi calf, from the veranda that sits over the top of it.
Yeah,
but the kids will feed them fish. I mean, I'm going to lie, I'm shitting myself at how much food they fucking put in that pond, right? Because controlling them water parameters is going to be a mission.
Yeah.
I am not like disregarding that whatsoever. However, the plan is to put fish in there at the beginning of the season. They're going to be on a stable temperature on the air source heat pump that we've got, which is a beast. And, you know, judging by what we need to do, I think we've got 350 litres of K1. We're only putting 300 fish in there. Maybe less. All right. So as they get bigger, that moving bed will still be able to cope with what's going in. Speaking to other people that have done like a feeding pond around the UK, from places that I know, in the summer it is such an attraction to people that they they actually pull out more pellets than the fish eat.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, it's one of them where I know that them fish have got the potential to gain a centimetre a week over the whole of that season. So there's nothing wrong with, towards the end of that season, draining that pond down, getting in with some waders with Al, bowling a few of them fish up. The ones I don't want to keep are going another bowl, and then we'll auction them off on the side of the bank.
Did you get the right dimensions and sizes for the little brace to go around that one for the 8th hole that's going to have sat on its back? Yeah, you managed to get them sorted out. Yeah,
All sorted, mate.
Straight in. Fish feeding, kids feeding them off at balcony, chipping them into the back of its little cup on its back. That's it, with a little flagpole coming out of it. It's going to be, to be fair, mate, it's going to be mint. I think you're going to get a lot of people coming around it to have a blast on it.
100%, mate. We have got such a big following for it already. We've got people trying to book parties, corporate events. Councils approaching us to do like days with like naughty kids and youth clubs, and mate, it's such a big attraction. You know?
But it's going to be something for privilege. Well, for kids, you know, that haven't seen all that kind of thing, or haven't seen fish and all that kind of stuff. You know, kids with, let's say, disabilities in a sense.
Yeah.
To come round and be able to view that and see everything that's there as well.
Yeah.
And then see all the fish and get to feed them and get involved in it, a bite of something to eat. I think it could be.
Well, I had a meeting this morning with somebody about exactly that, Cass.
Yeah.
You know, for children with disabilities, etc. You know, being specific times for people like with autism that don't like to be around crowds of people, to have specific times where they can book
dedicated time just for them to come around and have a look and have a view around through.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. But first and foremost, we've got to get the operation running. You know, which is why we're doing a stress event where we're inviting around 400 people in over a couple of hour period just to really push it through. Just
a pound a bag of food. Sweet.
Yeah. Just so we can break it, mate. You've got to break it to know how to fix it and how to control it. So, you know, it's not just a golf course. For me, it's a headache, you know, because I've got so much to run.
So are we expecting to be a bit further back here, by?
That'll be fucking gone, mate. The end of this year, that'll be fully grey and that'll be gone.
Just as a slightly, well, not off topic, still related to Perfect Aquatics. Are you thinking of doing any more, or are you doing any more with the auctions? Because I have had people asking. Is that something you want to do or pick back up again, or are you?
It will be after Japan. So I was gonna try to. Well, my plan was to actually do one on Tuesday, just gone. But with the handover of the golf going, yeah, we're definitely going to do it on the 18th. I literally had to shit can everything and then go, right, I need this staff member, that staff member, blah, blah. Have we got this? Have we got uniform? So I was pulling people in and literally the plan that I put in got dragged right forward, because that was the plan to actually, after Japan, once we've done the fish, it was then, as soon as I get back, that lull period before they arrive, hit the golf course and the staffing and the operation. And then when the fish then arrive, I can then just run with that. So, but to go back to the actual auctioning thing, yeah, we're going to hit that hard when I come back from Japan. The guys got
some nice stuff to be looking at as well, then, eh? Sweet.
Mate, yeah, I've got there's a couple of really nice. Well, there's platinas that we've got absolutely fabulous, mate. They'll go fairly cheap as well to start. We've got quite a lot on this site, and some of the secret Sankey have become more attractive to people over this winter period than what they were going into it, because, and like what we were saying earlier, people have got to have that forward vision and the patience.
I think that's the Sankey's a new thing, mate, isn't it? There's a lot more appreciation. There are some out there, Mr. Vince, that don't particularly like it, but I think the Sankey out there is now becoming a greatly more appreciated fish than what it has been for quite some time, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, they're one of the best fish in the koi varieties. Without, in my opinion, the best.
I'd say they're one of my favourites.
Well, don't want to say it is your favourite, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's so much to learn on them and so much to learn from them. Trying to read what they do is the test.
Hard as hell.
But you've got to be patient with a lot of them. I've got my own personal one from Momotaro down at the shop that I paid bloody good money for. The most I've ever spent on a fish, actually. And that didn't look great, but I could see the development and the potential, and it's really starting to come on now. It's
dramatic that the difference, like 2 years down the line from what you start out with them, though.
4 years. I've got a Taniguchi in the shop. I've got a Taniguchi Sankey that I bought that had next to no sumi, with very small traces of what could be.
Yeah, little dots. You look at what it turns
into. But really well placed.
Yeah.
When I bought it, I was told it's not going to go. It's a gamble, and I was like, I'm prepared to take that gamble. And a year on, that sumi's only just coming through. It's a 3-step kahaku with sumi, basically.
Yeah.
And for me, that is a very lovely looking Sankey. Like for me, my personal eye. How it would do in the show scene for pattern wise, I don't know. It's more about the body, as you know. But probably another year, that will definitely, like pattern wise, will be fully fledged. And it will look completely different to when I bought it. It's a fucking fish, actually.
Crazy, isn't it? How they do change.
Yeah.
You know, the most misunderstood variety, Al.
What was that, mate?
Sankey, the most misunderstood variety.
It used to be. I think people are wising up to it now and appreciating the quality of a Sankey.
Yeah.
3 to 4 years in development before you're going to see what you're really going to get.
Yeah.
Well, you want to look at the I've said this a lot. Because it actually rings so true. The GC from All Japan last year was bought, I believe, as a Sansai with next to fuck all sumi on it.
Yeah.
Right? And only started sprouting sumi at 4 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I right, Al, in that?
Yeah, yeah. I once bought a Sankey that I kept for 4 years. Sumi wouldn't develop on it. No, what a pile of crap that is.
Yeah. Sold
it, and within a year, the guy who bought it off us took GC at a show. Oh,
you good.
and I think the thing is it goes back to the market. Right, you got those people that really understand, those people that are still learning, those people that have got no idea. You know, the people with no idea will always look for the more finished fish.
Yeah,
which
it couldn't be any further away from the truth with that particular fish.
Totally right. Then you've got those people that are still learning, that are still struggling mentally without knowing to actually give a fish a chance.
Yeah.
You know, or really look forward to and think how it's going to develop, how they're going to develop that fish. Because Lee is quite a good ambassador, as someone that everybody knows, of actually falling into that category of now we're starting to see the potential, you know, and looking at a fish for the future. But actually, like he said today, getting the results, you know, so he's in what I would call the next level, you know, in the gears, the next level in the hobby on where he wants to go, where it's not necessarily admiring the fish for enjoyment, but buying a fish and developing it, but using his own skill to get it there with a vision, you know, and let's face it, most of us that spend good money in the hobby are at that phase, but potentially don't have the ability to do it for finance reasons, or they can't get that sort of fish. But you don't need to spend the money that Lee does if you're not in the show scene. You can still do it on cheaper fish, right? And still test your own ability to identify where that fish is going to go. It doesn't have to be a top contender for a major prize at a show scene.
Yeah.
100%, mate. Yeah. That's the beauty about keeping koi in it. You think, oh, yeah, I'm not so sure about that. And then you give it that little bit longer, and then you think, wow, never expected that. I've seen changes. I mean, my fish are nowhere near on the level of what everybody else has got out there. But I've seen changes in my fishing fault. God damn, man.
But Gaz,
that
really pisses me off.
No, I mean in the sense of like that fish that I got from Vince. I had an idea what it would do. It didn't do anything like what I thought it'd do. But I love that fish probably as much as the fish that I've bought and thought, that's a beautiful fish I really like.
Yeah.
The changes that me and Daz have watched it, all the guys and ladies that's within the GKP. We've watched that fish change over the last 2 years and gone, God damn, who would have expected that?
Yeah.
When we took that fish out, Daz, when we did the pond, totally changed its colours completely. After 2 weeks of being back in pond, looks right back the same as it did. Crazy. Just from being disturbed in its environment for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Nuts. The koi are amazing. I think they're hooked. Right then, ladies and gents, and obviously, thank you very much, you guests, for coming and joining us again. Alan, you're an absolute star, mate. You're a belting laugh all the time. Crafty, pleasure always. Daz, top man. Mr. Hadfield, have a fantastic time, mate, and I can't wait to look at some more of the videos and footage that you're banging out from over there. But I am going to draw this evening too, as we are pushing up to nearly 4 hours. So,
for someone that weren't going to do a long show,
that's the thing, right? I'm going to be honest, right? Nearly every week, I sit there and I speak with all these lot, and I, especially over the last couple of months, can't be asked. I don't want to do. I'm not all that, you know. And you think, I'm buggered, I'm tired. I just want to just chill out, relax, watch a bit of something. And then you start doing it and you think, man, I really enjoyed that. And every Thursday night at the end of it, I sit there and think, that was ace. Even just listening to Lee, just listening to yourself, just listening to Alan, I could just sit here and just, it's like enjoying your own favourite TV show that I just so happen to be a bit of a part of. I think it's meant, but it's sometimes I sit there and think, I can't be bothered this evening. But every time I think like that or feel like that, I always really enjoy my own show. So, and that's thanks to you guys for coming along, because obviously without you guys,
like,
you know, doing it.
That's like when you don't really want to go out on the piss, but you go out.
Exactly, they're always best nights.
Nights of your life.
Exactly, that's it. That's exactly it. Mate.
Oh, that'll be me and you next year in Japan, lad. Whee! I'll get you on that karaoke, lad.
I'll karaoke.
I'll get you singing Crocodile Shoes by Jimmy Nail, just because you got the voice.
Make sure when he gets you on that karaoke, before you had a few babies, like, make sure you give those chocolate dipped grass stuff a real good chew. There were no sharp bits coming back up. Thank you all again, ladies and gents, for joining us this evening. If you're enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favour. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and on your way out, ring that bell and hit that thumbs up. See you all in the next one, guys. Keep smiling. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Cricket bat.
Good night, all.
Cricket bat.